Good. We're on. I didn't plan on that. Hey.
Hello. I literally didn't see you there.
When did that happen?
Hi everybody, welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It is an exciting Tuesday night. It's a wonderful birthday for yours truly. So, yay! Hopefully you guys are having a great night. We've got a few announcements before we kick off tonight's Wonder episode where nothing bad has ever happened.
Nope. What?
Tonight is Wonder, as always. Wednesday night is going to be a sort of dark night here on Indigo, but on Thursday we jump into another exciting episode of Homebrew and Brew with you!
You!
No one. Oh, it's got to be at the same time.
We did it at the same time?
Yeah. So tune in for that on Thursday night. On Friday, we have a very special one-shot that's going to be taking place here on the channel. It is going to be based off of something that we have on the Discord called Zip Zap Zepper, where a group of adventurers who sort of spent their whole lives sort of adventuring are going to on a rescue mission for two of the characters' daughter. They're going to be traveling to multiple planes set within the universe, and once again, we're going to have some high-powered characters making stuff happen, so tune in for that. Sunday night is going to be game night. It's usually a night where we sit around and play some board games. However, another person that's been around on the channel for quite some time, Nitro, or Big Mike to some of you, is going to be doing a one-shot here on the channel as well with a group of people. So it's D&D like crazy. So tune in for that on Indigo. And as always, you can follow us on Discord to find out the schedule and be kept in the know for things happening. I think that's it when it comes to announcements.
I believe.
When last we left our heroes.
Not that bad.
When last we left our heroes, the heroes were starting to make the long journey from Tanakh back to their humble abode. During this journey, they dismantled a golden statue. They did points of damage and Lego damage, and that was about it to a group of orcs. They did more damage to each other, and this kept true to the time when they got home that evening, and we left our adventurers with Day, who was asleep, waking up to the sight of Mandrake breaking into her room, not so subtly, and knocking over a few things. Upon seeing this, her I'm going to say once lover, Grim, rolled over and grappled her, holding her tight in an embrace to restrict movement, any movement that she has, unless she makes a move to escape from it. Mandrake then approached forward, holding a flower and demanding knowledge of information regarding the Red Keep and things of that sort. All of that being said, let's get right into the action. So, Day, it is now your turn. What do you decide to do as all of this is happening around you?
First thing I'm gonna do is just to be clear, I am grappled.
You are grappled.
He is in front of me.
He is in front of you, and he is, I want to say, like next to you in bed or behind you in bed. Ooh.
We're casting Crown of Madness on Mandrake.
Okay, what is the wisdom save for Crown of Madness?
It's a 14. Doesn't matter, he's grappling me.
She can still cast spells and do things of that sort. When he decided to grapple her, he had to remove the hand over her mouth in order to sort of wrap around her. So Tracy is going to look over and see the roll that Mandrake is about to make as he makes a wisdom saving throw.
What is your wisdom?
Oh.
What'd you get?
13. Oh my god.
Day, while being grappled, sort of starts making arcane sigils in the air in front of her, and some of her flowery words come out and they hit you in just the right spot, and a wonderful jagged crown of thorns manifests itself on top of Mandrake's head. and as it does, Mandrake's steely eyes turn to face Grin.
Oh no.
Are you doing anything with your bonus action?
With my bonus action right now, no.
Okay. So now we go back to the top of the initiative order, which I believe is you, Mandrake? No, it's you, Grim. So Grim, Mandrake's looking at you kind of funny.
Is there anyone still in there?
What are the specifications?
You can wait until your turn to
Okay.
answer him back.
Okay, so I can still speak. I can. Okay.
Sure, you can still speak, but however, you're viewing him as a...
Yeah, because I've chosen him as an opponent. Like,
Right.
attack.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep my.
You are essentially charmed.
I'm just gonna keep my hold on Day and end my turn.
Okay. It is now your turn, Mandrake.
Okay. So I can do any action that would affect an opponent, correct?
It is a... You are charmed.
I'm charmed.
You have a crown that's on top of, I will say, floating around the hat.
Right.
You have to use your action before moving on each of your turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than Day
Okay.
that Day chooses.
Okay. So I'm holding the sunflower, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
This needs to be a melee attack.
so I guess I'm going to because I can speak still.
I will read this to the
Yeah.
fullest extent.
Yeah,
It's
go
still,
ahead.
it still looks like you have your faculties.
I have my faculties. I can
But
say
a
whatever
madness glows in your eyes, and you attack him. You're essentially charmed by her.
I want. Mm-hmm. Okay. So before I attack, I'm going to say today, I need to know what you know. Why you're hiding from the Red family and the Red Keep.
You see me as your ally.
I still have my faculties. I can say whatever I want.
I'm gonna. He's
I have to attack.
charmed, and he has to use the action, but he's still he's still under
Okay.
your control.
Okay. So, while you're hiding from the Red family and the Red Keep, I need to know without the illusions, the glamours.
That's all you have time
Okay.
for. Make your attack.
That is a 9.
9 plus what?
For because I'm doing a unarmed strike because all I'm holding is the flower.
Nope.
No.
You are wearing your hat.
I'm wearing my so I have to use my hat.
It's a melee attack, or you're using the flower.
Well, my hat is a ranged weapon.
Are you using the flower or the hat?
Then I will use the flower to
Okay.
hit him.
Damn you! It's my wedding day.
Punch him with the flower.
How many? Give me a. I think it's a Constitution saving throw.
That is going to be a 19.
Okay. Yeah, the flower hits you, and you feel that sleepy's come on, and you're feeling a little drowsy, and but you manage to fight through the sleepies.
Okay. My turn?
Your turn.
All right, I'll do that. 1 second. She's going to turn to him and cast suggestion.
Are you sure that's what you want to do? Give me a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn, please.
So, I don't know. She's pretty red.
Okay.
Red. That's my action.
What did you get?
11.
11. No, okay. Not quite good enough yet.
Still charmed.
Yep. Okay. So suggestion.
No. Red.
Red.
Angry.
Red. Okay. Okay, and that's your action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The another version of day manifests itself in the room.
Okay.
And is that all you're doing with your turn?
That's my action, so my. Yeah, that's all she wants to do right now.
Okay, the crown of madness disappears from your head, and you have all of your faculties again. Okay. What are you doing with your turn? Did you already? You already did. You already spoke because you were at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we go back to you.
None of this doesn't have to resort to violence. Just answer the question.
Is that all you're doing
Yes,
with your turn?
that's it.
And you're maintaining the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
That's me.
So now it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to finish what I was saying. I need to know without the illusions, the glamours, and the twisting of words. I need to know now. And then I'm going to cast Fog Cloud in the room to
Okay.
fill the room with fog
Okay.
and say, now no one can act. We are on equal ground.
Okay. You watch as instead of hitting you with anything, he channels some of the arcane energy at him, and as he does, from underneath the brim of the hat, this fog bank seems to roll out and fill the entire room. It is now your turn, Dad.
So even the wolf is kneeling.
Even though who is kneeling?
The wolf, the shifter, the whatever he is when he's not him.
He's next to you.
Yeah, I'm not like physically kneeling, like not attacking.
Yeah.
No one has attacked you.
You need to let go of me.
Answer the question.
Is that what you're doing with your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, top of the order.
Okay. It's very easy. Just answer the question. And that's it.
Give me a perception check.
17 plus perception. 22.
Your skin gets
21, I'm sorry.
real warm. Okay.
Okay. Fog Cloud stays.
Are you centering it around yourself and it's just sort of filling this room?
Filling the room.
Got it. Okay.
Every time the Red Guard is near, you hide who you are. Every time Red Jack is near, you hide who you are. They are after my family. I need to know now.
Is that your turn?
I think that's it. That's the turn.
And I need for him to let go of me.
Is it uncomfortable? Is the heat, or is it just like she's getting warmer than her normal temperature?
It's not coming from her.
It's just like I can feel like just heat.
You're real warm, and I would say on the start of this next turn, it's even worse, bro. Like it's not to the point of like causing you pain, but you are
I'm feeling it.
you are hot. This is like sunburned, like hot.
I don't know if he would let it go right now. I'm pretty sure he'd feel pretty used to pain. So we're just gonna keep holding on.
Okay.
Day, please.
How long does Fog Cloud last?
A minute, right?
You still got, I think, 6 more rounds.
Okay.
Let's not talk about this.
All I ask is that you stay and answer the question. I'll have him let go if you stay here, where we're all equal.
He lets go of me. You throw that flower out the window, and I won't have Mimi rip off your head. And then we'll talk.
If it's getting unbearable at this point, then
It actually stops.
then if hearing all this, then I'm just gonna let go and just slowly back away to any wall I can back to.
You get up and you move towards the wall. Give me one more perception check. Because you're a little confused, you're a little impassioned.
Just want to put that just like that. And that one, y'all.
Sure. Everything is awesome.
I just love everyone.
Everything is great. Everything is super, super great.
I'm glad we fixed it. I'm glad we fixed it.
So fitting.
Your turn.
Of course.
We both know this flower won't have an effect on you, half-elf. And I'll put it away.
Do you drop fog cloud?
No.
All you hear him is him say that. You don't see him put the flower away.
Stupid. It's not about what it can and can't do. It's about the fact that you pulled it out in the first place.
I'm going to go ahead and take us out of initiative, since you guys are all talking and stuff. So
Right.
Go ahead.
You want to talk? Drop the fog.
That's not safe, and we both know that.
I know.
Anything you see, you can bewitch. If you can't see me, you can't hurt me.
Oh.
Now answer the question, please.
You want to know a funny story? One time, I did this thing where I put my trust in somebody. It was a really good time, actually. I had a lot of fun. I got to know them, and they got to know me. And we talked, and we had fun, and things went well, and till they didn't. And he hurt me. Again and again. Because I trusted him. It's funny, I think I did the same thing with you. And now, here we are, sitting in my room, full of your magic, and you have the audacity to come at me for it. Drop the fog now.
Some would say that I came to your turf where you have the advantage and disabled myself as much as you. I need answers. And I'll drop the fog cloud.
Dave, give me an insight check.
Mom and dad used to fight.
That's a 20.
Behind the natural bravado that Mandrake has brought to the table, sometimes he plays things close to the chest. As you look at him and the fog dissipates away from the scene, you see something else behind his eyes. You see a genuine fear there. And it seems echoed stronger anytime he brings up the Red Court and your connections to it. So beneath the bravado, you see a genuine fear there.
This wasn't fair.
Life isn't fair.
I'm not talking about life. We live in the same house. You could have just come and asked me. It's not like I'm that closed of a book. I sing songs about what I feel. I frickin' make sure everybody's okay. I kept this house in order, and then when it wasn't okay, I did it again.
You play the part very well. But I don't know if that is you. I took you to my home. I introduced you to my family. There is too much on the line for me to take chances. Yes, I could have just come and asked you. But I've seen you charm others. It's not that easy. Now I've dropped my fog cloud. And I've not attacked you once. I'm just asking for information. You're right, this is our home. I need to know that we are all safe here.
Funny you should say that. What do you want to know?
Why do you hide when the Red Court is around?
Remember the story I just said about trusting somebody?
Yes.
It was the king. I was taken in when I was a child, and I was looking for someone. Well, I'm not sure if that someone is the same someone they were once when I was a child. But the fact of the matter is that I was the queen's right-hand bard. And then I got older. More beautiful, whatever they want to call it. More enticing, if you will. The king noticed. That was fun. I was able to put that off for quite a while until he told me he knew where my brother was. Have you heard the saying in the court that it doesn't matter what you do, you just don't embarrass the Red Queen? Yes?
Yes.
Cool. It didn't matter that he hurt me. It didn't matter that he took me. He used me. He did whatever he wanted with me until a god found out. As soon as a god found out, well, God help us, the queen was embarrassed because now her right-hand man, the Red Jack, knows everything. And then Princess found out the one thing I actually cared about. So that was an interesting story. So I ran. It was truly life or death.
So that's why you hide.
So that's why I hide.
Do you know Red Jack's weakness?
His weakness is also his strength. Information. You can offer something he doesn't know. You can get him farther in his career or standing. He'll do almost anything you want. What do you want out of all of this?
Of course. I didn't want anything to happen to you. That's why we didn't attack. But I felt it was important that Mandrake got what he was after. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I didn't see any other way. Believe it for what you will. But you know me.
I don't know you. I know him.
You know a part of me. And that part does not want to hurt you. And has all intentions, wants to see you safe.
Anything else?
I'm gonna reach into my bag,
Okay.
take out the tablets,
Okay.
and put them in her hand,
Okay.
and say, consider your debt paid.
She's gonna throw him out the window.
Okay.
I owe you no debt. I am indebted to no one anymore.
We both know that you need those.
Maybe. But I've gotten along without things that I thought I needed before. We'll see. Can I leave now?
It's your room. Then I'll turn and walk out.
It's best I should leave too.
You watch as Mandrake leaves the room, and Grin, it follows suit behind and closes the door behind him.
She's gonna... Oh, God. She'd find, like, a corner, and she would put her back as close to it as she possibly can, and just rock and wait, like, hope that Mimi or the cloak or something, like...
You need support. You put your back against this wall, and you close your eyes, and everyone settles in for the night, having gotten answers to questions that they didn't even know that they were going to ask. And it's hard to see this, but you are, as you were drifting off to sleep, Day, you feel what comes to feel like a pair of arms wrapping around you, and you don't question it, you just sort of accept it as comfort, the comfort that you were seeking. And that's how you fall asleep, still sitting in that corner of the room, with a pair of arms wrapped around you, and soft little whispers of, shh, shh, it's okay, it's okay. You're all right. It's all right.
So she falls asleep, so...
Anybody else do anything with that night? We all set.
I missed it. I'm sleeping.
So you guys wake. You take a long rest. So mark that down on your character sheet. Some of you that use spell slots and all that stuff. So mark that down. Who's usually the first one up? We don't really get into this. Like who is usually the first one up in the house?
Though would be up pretty early.
Okay, we'll do this. Though you wake up fairly early, and you wake up actually to a knock on your door.
Ooh. I open the door.
You see a beautiful blonde woman. She's got hair that comes that is in a bun on her head. She's wearing a blue dress, and she has a white apron sort of tied around her waist. And she says, "Good morning, Philly dear. Breakfast is waiting for you in the nook downstairs. Let's be quick about it."
Have I seen this person before?
You have not seen this person before, and she leans forward and gives you a peck on the cheek. And as she goes down, she sees a speck of dust, and she sort of whisks some of the dust up, and continues to move about the hallway.
Hello. Hello. Who are you?
Oh dear, don't be silly. I'm your mother. And she putters about the house, sort of straightening some of the picture frames and things of that sort.
Excuse me. I'm just following her around wherever she goes. Excuse me. You are not my mother.
Well, no, I mean, I kind of am.
No, you're not.
No, I am. Oh, you needed one. Well, the house needed one. And whatever you need, the house grants. So here I am.
Can you explain who invited you here?
Oh, you all did.
No,
Well,
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Mostly
So-
Day. Well, you see, she complained about how she had to keep the house in order, and it was causing her great fear. So and distress. So here I am.
And where did you come from?
I came from the house, silly girl. You silly goose. Now hurry up downstairs. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Shoot. Do I have any sort of like
Sure.
detect magic. I'm going to cast detect magic on her.
You go to channel the earthen energies about you, something that you've done countless times before, as you reach out to the magic that guides you, and it originates from the place of wonder itself, and you reach out and find nothing.
Like she's not there?
No, like your magic is not there. Detect magic does not go. It does not come forth. It does not.
It's not working? Okay, I'm going to start casting cantrips. I cast Druidcraft.
Nothing?
And Infestation and
Nothing.
Mending, and I'm trying,
Rude.
nothing is working. Alright, I run outside.
Okay.
And I
Dear,
look for something
please-
broken and mend it.
Dear, please be sure to wipe your feet when you come back inside. It rained last night and there's a bit of mud out, alright?
I'm
Mandrake
not
would be
paying attention
awake.
to her.
Mandrake, you wake up and as you reach for your hat, you find it gone. There's a bit of a commotion downstairs as Bowie seems to be picking up like a broken pail of water outside and being like, you work this together, you work together. That water burned baby. Like, it's just like,
Okay. I'm gonna look around my room, obviously.
sure.
Is there anything out of place? Any?
No, your room actually looks tidier than it did before. A lot of the dirty clothes that you sort of spread all about, so that you had them organized, but it was your own system, have been folded and neatly put away into different spots. And as you start to rouse, you see a blonde woman walk by, and she says, Mandrake, dear, I folded your clothes last night. We do not live in a pigsty, we live in a home. So let's be sure to pick up the clothes and put them where they're supposed to go, okay, dear? Your breakfast is waiting downstairs. Don't open your mouth like that. You look like a fish.
I'm running inside, and because I have no idea all of this stuff that happened,
Sure.
and I'm knocking on Dave's door and then Nix's door and saying, wake up, wake up,
Sure,
wake
the
up.
three of you are awoken to sounds
finding my
of
door.
banging on your door, with the exception of Nix. Nix, you sort of rouse yourself at a decent time, and you all start to awaken and see.
Before they're even out the door, do some magic. Do some magic.
what
Do some
kind of
magic
magic?
now. Do
What
some,
kind?
I don't care. Do some magic.
I'll cast.
Is she saying this to both of us?
I'll cast message to her.
Cool. You start tracing.
Why are we doing this?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You start tracing the arcane symbols in the air, and as it does, Mother looks over at you and she says, "No, no, 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 no."
Who's this?
Magic doesn't work. I don't know who she is.
Am I hearing all
Who
this?
are you?
I'm your mother, dear. Well, the house mother. You need it.
Where did you come from?
What are you doing?
I was gonna put my dagger back.
Where did you come?
The dagger that you
Yeah, I'm
have.
just gonna pull it down, like across like the wood or whatever the material of the house is.
As you do that, she coughs and casts mending behind you, so that as you drag the wood, that dagger through the wood, it starts to close up behind you, and it says,
So only her magic works. The mother, the house mother.
Where did you come from?
"Oh, you called for me, dear. You children were fighting like cats and dogs. There was a bunch of screaming coming from the room. Day said that she was tired of having to keep the house in order, so the house brought me forth to help go about things. You
So
changed
the
into
house-
a dog and bit your brother, and I was very disappointed in you."
That's
Wait.
not my brother.
Wait, the house, like, teleported you here, or
No, it made me.
About
so?
how
Why doesn't our magic work?
Oh, well, your father was very cross with you when I told him what you did, so he took it away. You've been grounded.
Who's
Who's
that?
A question, sorry. We have a wizard that we have a deal with, and he's protecting the house. He's still doing that, right?
Oh, yes, he's downstairs.
Okay, just checking.
Does he still
He
have
and your
his?
father drank brandy long into the evening last night.
My father.
Does
Who? What?
Where
What?
is father?
Oh, well, your father was summoned because of what Mandrake said.
I'm sorry.
That you
Hold
all
on.
needed to feel safe here.
I mean,
how does that?
accurate?
I feel safer with my magic.
Can you
though,
please bring
so-
us to father now?
Yes, of course.
Wait, before we do that, mother,
Yes.
you wouldn't happen to know where my hat is?
Yes, I do.
May I have it back, please?
No, it's in my secret hiding place. It's where I hide the Christmas presents.
Fantastic.
So she's just gonna turn around and start walking downstairs trying to find father.
Sure. You walk downstairs, and as you do, past the living room, you smell the scent of cigar smoke sort of drifting out from a room. And in a large red lounge chair, there is a man propped up who is wearing slippers and a smoking jacket and smoking a bit of cigar. He it's hard to imagine. Mother looked very human, blonde, and father is made entirely out of random knickknacks and broken objects found around the house.
Nice.
Father is comprised of books, and it looks to be like sort of ashtrays and cups and things of that sort that have all sort of formed together into a humanoid figure. And as he goes in, "Oh, good, you're awake. Welcome."
Hello.
Nix, what would you like to do?
Does our magic work at all outside the house, or is it like just no in the house?
I tried
or
running
like,
outside and my magic wasn't working outside either.
You just took it away completely.
Well, son, come sit down.
I'm gonna sit.
Let's have a talk.
Okay.
Your mother informs me that you children have been fighting and that you don't feel safe in your own home.
I was not fighting or feeling
That you
unsafe,
haven't been
actually.
necessarily truthful with one another.
Okay.
Okay.
You've
Right.
been playing your little druid games, which we have talked about.
No, we haven't, because I just met you. But go on.
Well, it's been assumed.
Go on.
And your mother and I discussed it, and we decided that until you can learn to get along and learn to respect one another, that we should take away your toys.
And you do realize that involves cutting me off from my actual mother, right? And my friends.
Son, if it was happy, it wouldn't be grounding.
So, but you're saying you have authority over my own mother.
Well, yes. I mean, due to the pact that you made when you set forth into the house.
I don't remember making
Interesting.
a pact.
Well, you stepped across the boundary. You claimed the house as your own. The house paid you in full with its rooms and its books and its.
Does this person? I mean, although she's blonde, does she look different to each of us? Or is she
Mother is standing outside the room and has not stepped foot in the den. But this conversation is happening with the gentleman that's sitting in the chair.
So you took anything with magic?
Well, yes, why let you keep your clothes and your magical items? I just took away the magic that makes them work.
Where? Go ahead.
Where is Bandy?
Bandy is here. She's hanging upstairs in the playroom.
And the dragon?
With Bandy, I wouldn't hurt her. She's one of our own. Your family.
Mother, father, people, book, robe, person.
Just father is fine. Yeah.
Father is.
Mother, father, book, person, robe thing was my father's name.
That's a lot. Do you have a nickname other than father?
Sure, you can call me Dad.
We'll stick with father.
Papa. Peepaw.
So you took away magic to punish us.
Yes, just for the time being.
Okay, we understand that part. And mother is making sure we feel safe. So, how long are you staying in town for?
Well, just as long as until you need us.
I feel like that's a standard in law.
I feel like we're good. I think we've learned our lesson. This was a very important lesson for us to learn. And thank you for stopping by.
Yes, of
and
course.
I would love to you to we
Bowie.
could make arrangements to maybe visit sometime outside of the house.
Sis, bring it down.
Don't you think
Want
this
my
is a bit
magic back.
overkill? I mean, we had one little argument over, like, ethics. Honestly, it was a change.
There was an argument that happened last night.
Yeah, actually, you
What
can talk to
happened
these
last night?
two boys about it if you'd like to.
Well, honey, boys can
What?
be boys, and then they
That
get
is
house.
so terrible to say.
Honey, she's right. That is a terrible thing to say. I'm sorry. I was just making
What?
a comment.
Well, what happened last night?
This is my fault.
Go on.
I don't know how to word this.
Invaded someone's room.
Yes, let's
made sure
use
they were
invaded.
fine.
You
Could have just
I-
asked questions. Instead, made
I
them feel
forced Day to
unsafe.
tell me who she is and where she's from.
How did you force Day to tell you anything?
As you're having this conversation, Mother walks into the room and sets down a tray that contains orange slices on it and places it on the table, and just walks out of the room.
Orange slices.
I ask Grim to hold her still, and then I cast Fog Cloud in the room, so that
You invaded her room and had Grim pin her down so that you could interrogate her?
And
Wait,
this
you-
is why you were not involved.
With it?
No, not pinned her down. Not pinned her down.
Why would you help with it?
Grappled.
I'm sorry. Dane, what did they do?
Well, Zoe, I am so glad you asked. I was sleeping, as one does, and apparently Mandrake decided to slip out of the shadows while Grim and his wolf decided to hold me very tightly so that I couldn't move, or defend myself. He held a sleeping flower to my face, which we both know can't do much, but the fact that he did it in the first place is a little hurtful.
In all
And
fairness,
then-
I never held the
and
flower to
then-
your face. I held it up.
This is really not the point, is it?
Would anyone like some yoo-hoo? Anyone like yoo-hoo?
I will
A
take
what?
a yoo.
I will
Oh,
too.
oh, what?
Can I serve?
What is-
Can I serve her you?
I will not take a
What
yoo-hoo
is-
from you.
Mother, I would
I
love some
don't.
tea.
What is that?
What is
So
it?
all of this was so that they could ask you what?
It was to ask me what I knew about the Red Keep.
And have you ever asked her without pinning her down and invading her room in the middle of the night?
And have you ever noticed how anytime the Red Keep or the Red Guard is mentioned or shows up,
Oh, I'm
she
sorry,
puts
you're
on a
deflecting.
disguise
Have
and
you
runs?
ever asked her this question without pinning her down and invading her room in the middle of the night?
I have never yet once run, actually. Once I finally was able to disguise myself, I stayed there. I communicated. I stayed close to make sure you were safe. Do you not remember the village? Do you not remember your home? See? These are the things that I did for you.
I mean-
But continue, Zoe.
Our
Father looks over at
Things-
Mother and holds his hands up like this, and Mother just nods her head.
I mean, is that really that bad that she's doing that though? I mean, she would obviously have a reason if she's not telling us things.
We don't have the leeway for secrets right now.
Oh, we don't have the
We-
leeway to ask our friends questions before we pin them down after invading their room in the middle of the
Zoe,
night?
you have spoken. We understand. You are not okay with the plan.
No, I was not okay with the plan. That's probably why you didn't run it by me first.
Zoe, you bit your brother yesterday. Are we going to discuss this?
I was defending a poor helpless ogre, okay?
An ogre
And he
has
is tough,
never
and
been
he was
described as
fine.
helpless.
Were you not fine? He
Why-
was fine.
Why is it that both times you came after me?
Because both times you deserved it?
Zoe, your
Is-
brother is right. You've only transformed into a dog a few times, and each time you've bitten your brother.
Well, only twice, and both times he deserved it.
Now, Zoe, how do you think that makes me feel?
It's a good question, Zoe. How do you think that makes him feel?
I had to fight against my sister, and you started the
Oh
altercation.
God, we're not doing sibling stuff.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
The yoo-hoo is really helping calm me down. And the orange slices. They're very good. They're very good.
I made everyone sandwiches.
Without the crust?
Yes.
Oh, God,
Listen,
what was the
sometimes he gets a little aggressive, okay? He gets a little aggressive, and you just keep chewing your orange
That's
slice.
not
And
true.
when he gets a little aggressive, someone needs to step in and help him to chill out. And so that is my job as the only sibling, I guess, who can also turn into a dog. And so
Your sister brings up a good point. She is the only one who can turn into a dog.
it's true. And sometimes he just needs another personality that can mesh into something like his to help to communicate
So
effectively.
what
You know,
you're
it's funny, I
saying
used to be
is
able
you
to
wanted
do
to
that with
fight strength for strength, but isn't that not what that happened? We were all trying to fight one another. and-
Wait.
Don't try to come out of this clean and easy, Mr.
She was trying to
You grabbed your
somebody.
sister, and while she was having
Please
the
don't
time-
use the word sister.
Don't say grab sister either. That just sounds.
That sounds terrible.
Children, you've been fighting non-stop. It's time for you to get out of the house. And Mother pipes up, children need fresh air and sunshine in order to make the sad go away.
Then what can we do to revert back to normality?
Father says, I think an expedition would be just the thing. There's a bit of a celebration happening at the mount today. A bit of a party, if you were. I think a good old-fashioned family outing for all of you to go and enjoy and explore. I can even give you a little spending money. You
Like
can,
a family reunion?
No. Just a family outing.
Oh.
With you, would you be joining us on this
Oh,
family outing?
no, dear. I have the paper to read.
Can you please tell us
Don't
where you came
books.
from?
The
Yes,
house.
you see, though, when two books love each other very much,
That's enough.
they share a special bond.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
God.
fine.
There's a
listening.
bee and a flower, and Mother comes over and says, "I don't think now is the time, dear, because I know for a fact that day in Grimm know exactly where babies come from. So let's."
All right. So are you saying that if we go out and we go on your little family excursion, for which you will give us money, and then we get along with each other and perhaps don't turn into a dog and bite each other or try to kidnap and interrogate each other or lie about who we are, that perhaps if we go on this trip and then come back, that we can have our magic back?
Excuse me. Actually, no. Just go ahead. Just
Can I just come
finish.
clean and just get it back right now? I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, just want my magic.
I'll think about it.
I'm not going to come out without a little bit of magic.
Hmm?
The brooch. Is the brooch going to work?
I know you don't feel like you're ready.
I'm not ready.
So yes, the brooch will work for the time being, but that is the only one. And once you pick a disguise, that is it, young lady.
Mother.
Speaking of disguises,
Can I not follow that?
go ahead. I often stand out in a crowd, the green fur and all. And part of my magic is being able to turn into other things. And I feel like perhaps.
Mother steps forward and goes, "Toby, while you were sleeping last night, I put in some leave-in conditioner. You'll notice that some of the knots and things that you had in your green fur have now been brushed clean.
Thank you.
You really are lovely, too. You're growing into such a beautiful green-haired woman."
Well, alright.
Does my special effects still clothing? Does that still work, Mom? That's still part of.
No. You don't need it.
No, but it is fun.
In fact, I'm very disappointed in you, actually, most of all.
I've only used it like twice.
We couldn't find your pet last night.
Your pet?
Pet.
And if you don't take care of your pet and feed it properly and give it everything it needs, we've talked about this. If you can't show that sort of responsibility, we have to go back to giving you a goldfish, and you can be a shifter with a goldfish, and then.
None of the other shifters have goldfish.
No. Well, that's what we talked about.
All right, where do you want us to go?
The front door swings open, and as the front door swings open, it swings open onto the busy streets of partygoers that seem to be lining up and exchanging, wearing festive hats as a birthday celebration anniversary seems to be ringing out across the way across the mouth.
Have we stepped through the door yet?
You have not stepped through the door.
Okay.
So this is not typically what we see when we walk outside the door.
You do notice some festive crowds and people drinking various drinks and laughing, and it's early in the morning, so it's a little odd to be seeing. It almost looks like Bourbon Street with the amount of alcohol that seems to be flowing. And you see different magical effects, like fireworks. You hear the sounds of games, and you smell exotic foods that are being cooked along the street.
Mother, I noticed that they're all wearing hats. Might I take mine with me?
Yes, dear, I made you one. And as she reaches down below, she pulls out a white hat that looks like a sailor's hat. And it says, "Mother's a #1 sailor." And she puts it on.
Thank you, Mother.
It fits your head, I measured it. You're growing up so fast.
Know where that's going.
But if I needed to protect my brothers and sisters, I would need my hat.
It's true.
If I needed to protect my brothers and sisters, then I
we're
need
not
my
calling
magic.
ourselves that.
You haven't done that, though.
I have.
You have at times, but other
And
times.
then other times I bit him because he deserved it.
It's
Can
true.
we just go? I don't. I'm going. I don't care. I'm going.
Fine, I'm gonna
Just
stomp
going.
out the door after him.
She's like, "Wipe your feet."
May I hold the money?
Hmm?
May I hold the money?
No.
I'll walk up to her.
Wait, hang on. What were we supposed to do again?
As she says, hang on, what were we supposed to do again? You look back and there is no door. Is anybody last to leave the room? for this?
I would not be going in front of these two.
Okay, cool.
So, with that said, I don't care what
You
order.
make your way into the busy streets of the mouth, and as you do, you see food vendors and different people that seem to be looking about. Everyone seems to be in jovial manner. You pass, as you walk through the busy streets, people seem to be handing out free samples of food and drink. You see what looks to be carnival games off in the distance, as many booths are set up. Everyone, roll me a perception check as you walk the busy streets of the mouth.
12.
That is a 21.
Perception,
Yeah.
you said?
Perception.
4.
A 4! Ah!
8.
19 for you guys.
19.
12.
12.
21.
21. Those of you that rolled high see a very familiar face behind a fruit stand. It is someone that you have not seen for quite some time. It is Big D. It kind of looks like a shitty Jon Snow. But Big D is there, and D is selling fruits and to random passerbys as they go and handing out free samples to some of the kids that walk by. And the kids look at it and see that it's not candy, and the occasional kid will come by and be like, "My mom makes me to eat apples," and he eats apples and stuff like that. So, but you see a group of friends that you haven't seen for quite some time.
Dee's gonna kind of take half a step back and go, "Oh gosh, sugar dates, and pistachios."
It's a day. Big D!
Oh, day! What a day!
How are you?
Doing very well. Are you here to celebrate?
Celebrate what?
Celebrate.
Give me a history check as you realize that there's a celebration going on. Holiday celebrate.
Would my background help at all with this?
Rolled another 4.
Yes, actually, it would. So roll this at advantage.
11.
11.
15.
We're rolling history.
History.
Using
Girl.
green dice.
18.
18. So those of you who got above a 15 realize that, oh yes, of course, this is a major holiday that they have here in Wonder. And this was the day that the last Jabberwocky was slain and killed. Yeah, it's called Jabberwock On, as the entire city of Wonder sort of celebrates the last of the Jabberwockies being slain. They tell epic stories. A lot of the vendors have turned this into any sort of reason to sing and sell booze during the day and sell cheap knickknacks. And as soon as this is remembered and sort of spread throughout the crowd, you're starting to see a lot of the similar symbols that you see in the Jabberwock, this sort of winged, sort of black hulking beast. And you see off in the distance, you see a Jabby the Jabberwocky who's walking around in full body puppet. And a kid comes by and slaps Jabberwocky, and our good friend Hillary just sheds one tear. But you guys see the city alive, and nothing but goodwill as everyone seems to be celebrating this momentous occasion.
We can't let our sour moods and attitudes get in the way of this glorious day.
I'm not even going to.
I just want to know what we're supposed to be doing. What are we supposed to be doing in order to get our magic back?
Celebrate. Oh, your magic. Well, you're celebrating.
Yes,
obviously,
these idiots
But,
got us in trouble.
No.
um,
We need to be celebrating.
hold on. You found yourself in trouble again.
Constant.
Does it find you or do you find it?
Both.
Your choices don't make you, but
kind of.
you make your choices.
We make lots of choices.
I recall.
It's kind of their fault for fighting each other that we got stuck in this mess. So
That's fault.
While
You guys
we're
were not
on the
supposed to be
subject, what were you saying about lying?
What about lying?
When we were reading off the laundry list of reasons why we were grounded, you said something about people lying about who they are.
Dee's gonna
Well,
sell
no, they
around
also
them.
said something about people lying about who
Like
they
you're
are.
gonna walk away.
They went
No,
into
he's
great
going to
detail
sell
about this.
around
I don't
them.
feel like I should have to go into more details
But listen,
unless someone else wants to go into more detail.
If I have a pet I would know what
With
scent
that,
or
with that, you.
is there a scent like that I'm picking up just from the area or places that I might know would want to go?
No. Do you wolf out?
I don't know if I can. That would require magic, wouldn't it? I'm gonna try.
Oh. Guys, I'm gonna try just to see if it works.
Nothing there.
Oh.
God.
Okay, I'm gonna try. And I try to turn into a dire. Whatever I normally turn into a dire wolf.
It's a dire wolf.
Dire wolf.
With
Yeah, you would
37
know, huh?
HP.
You actually go and you feel a little bit of a twinge of like magical energy, and you feel the same sort of energy sort of flow up from the ground around you as you are separate from the house for quite a distance. And you guys all watch as Thoe changes into a direwolf and then shrinks down until she is a little Pomeranian that is just on the ground. That it,
And Dee is going to stop selling in that very moment and pet the dog because petting, as we learned, is a free action.
Dee goes, oh, it's our dog, and then as she says that, a bunch of kids run over and they just start like petting and
Is she her and can talk and all that, or is she like a dog? Where there's no.
So normally I can talk now if I'm a dog. Can I talk?
You gotta try.
Puppy. Okay, that's enough.
You hear that?
This is the cutest, fluffiest.
I bite his finger.
And that is what got us in this in the first place.
Jay's actually gonna step in at that point and be like, bad dog.
Thank you.
Not for you.
Why are you all so
And I
angry?
say, you deserve that.
I'm not angry. I'm just tired.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
What are you guys doing with your time at the fair? You see carnival games off in the distance. You see lots of delicious food. You see lots of drink stands and things of that sort. You hear people selling various goods amidst the fair. You see a wizard sort of casting spells and doing a demonstration.
Did Danius join us?
Yes.
I'd be happy to show you around.
I'm gonna
If
get
you seem unfamiliar with Jabberwock On, this is a wonderful festival.
Well, of course I'm familiar with it. I've just usually been at the library or with my tribe during the time of Jabberwock. I've really never experienced an actual Jabberwock On festival.
Well, young puppy, it's time to experience it.
Okay. It's probably better to experience it as a person though, huh?
You might get trampled. It gets pretty raucous at times, especially
Okay.
when they start doing the Jabberwock
I
dance.
come out of our wild shape.
You come out of your wild shape and
Yeah.
you are back as Thoe.
And Dee's probably gonna flag down
Not
someone
as-
to cover the stall.
Not as cute
Yeah.
as the dog was.
That's okay. You're never as cute as the dog was.
That's okay. I was only as handsome as the wolf is.
Mm.
I'm gonna find a turkey leg, a giant turkey leg. That's what-
Sure, give me an investigation check as you look
Yes.
around for a giant circle. I will give you advantage because you are traveling with Dee now, and who is sort of showing you around the stand, so she knows all the best spots here.
17.
Yeah, you walk up and there's a dwarven gentleman who seems to be working this large sort of it looks like a cart, but there's nothing pulling the cart, and he looks like he's selling turkey legs out of the cart.
My good sir, your largest turkey leg.
The largest turkey leg.
The largest.
You sure?
Well, how big could it possibly be? Yes, of course.
He brings you over like a pretty decently sized turkey. He's 1 gold piece, please.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
and he gold, and that's when he casts enlarge on the
On me?
on the turkey leg, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until it's super decently sized. It looks like one of these light stands, like
Nice.
you pull on yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He sort of nods over at you, and you guys watch as Grim looks extremely happy,
Just
holding
gonna
his
rest
knee.
over my shoulder.
Yeah,
Wouldn't the first time.
yeah.
Day's just grabbing onto D, like arm and like
I-
holding on.
Dee's gonna happily accept this arm, and from the side pocket in the vendor's bag, they're gonna pull out a little box of the last berries that
You
they
remembered.
remembered selling today. So
Thank you.
happy Jabberwock on.
Aw, Dee, thank you. And she'll just take and like have them wrapped up and like.
Anybody else doing anything with their time here at the Jabberwock Festival?
I want to figure out why we're here and why we got put into this spot and what we're supposed to do to get our magic back. So I'm going to search around. And does anybody want to search around with me for like a point
I'll go
to
with.
this, to what we're supposed to do so that we can go back home and figure out who these people are in our house who are taking away our magic?
Well, I gotta figure out
Yeah.
what pet I lost and where it is.
What pet you lost?
This was what Mother had said to me. My pet got
Did
loose.
you have a pet?
Can we come up with a different name for them? perhaps?
Apparently.
Just a suggestion.
I don't understand why that's such a big deal for you.
The man and the woman who invaded our house and is now calling us her children? Or his children? Their children?
The amalgamation of random objects who asked us to call him father while protecting us, and the woman who cleaned up my room.
How about just him and her?
I'm a wizard. I can't go without magic.
Dee's gonna turn around and walk backwards and face the group through the crowd and just give the most puzzled face ever because they have no idea what they're talking about. You have a pet? You have a father built out of stuff?
No.
We found this house.
Sure.
And apparently, when we stepped through the threshold, we signed some kind of contract. And
As one does.
things got a little heated in the house the other day, and they took our magic.
I do think we should consider
They
moving.
who?
The amalgamation of objects that asked us to call him father,
I'm with you,
and
however,
the,
I don't think it's going to end
the
just if we move.
pleasant woman who cleaned for me.
So you're complaining that a woman cleaned for you?
Oh, I'm not complaining about that. I just would like my hat back.
That's a lovely hat you have on, though.
I'm gonna take off the hat and put it in my pocket.
You watch as Mandrake takes the hat off and folds it up and puts it in his pocket, and as he turns back to look at you, there is a hat on his head identical to the one. Yeah,
That was quite nice, too.
That's really funny.
I'm gonna take that one off, fold it, put it in my pocket.
Yep, there's a third one.
Do you have 2 hats in your pocket now? Is this like a magic trick?
Check my pockets.
Hmm?
Are there any hats in my pocket?
No.
No.
If you're doling out hats.
Okay, what happens if you put it on my head?
Take off the hat, put it on her head.
It says, mommy's #1 sailor girl.
But he doesn't have a hat on his head anymore?
No, he still does.
Oh, great.
So now there are 2 hats.
Let's do this.
No.
Yeah, okay. I'll reach over and...
Okay.
Does anybody else
Random
have a hat?
person who's a friend of my son-in-law.
Sailor girl.
No.
Can we
Have to
please
say,
stop
does anybody
multiplying
wanna
the
buy a
hats?
hat?
A little boy comes over and he's like, I'd like to buy a hat.
Here, it's only 1 copper.
He hands you a copper piece and he puts the hat on and he walks off and he says, Mommy, I'm #1 sailor boy.
We can make a lot of money off of this.
I don't think this is
I
what
think
we're
you
supposed
can
to
turn
do,
this
but-
into
I'm gonna
a
make my way away
business
from the group
venture.
and just start looking around for sense.
Sure. There's plenty of things to happen here at the fair. You see a bunch of carnival games. You see, like I said, you see sort of demonstrations on a little ways down the crowd. You see armor and swords that are being sold. You see one in particular. There's a man. There's a bit of a climbing wall, and you see people lined up, and then there's a whistle, and then people climb up the climbing wall, and then the one at the top is crowned victorious, and there's a big cheer from the crowd.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, are you going over there as well?
I want to survey a little bit and see how many guards are around.
Okay, so here's the deal. All of the times that you've been here, like I've said before, you're noticing the heart guards and stuff like that as they sort of patrol. There are no guards in sight. No guards
No
anywhere.
shit.
None that you see here.
Would Dee recognize any of the plainclothes people as some of the guards in normal clothing?
Okay, give me a perception check.
Is it possible to assist her on that because of background, or?
Yeah, I would give you advantage on that perception, unless you just rolled a nat 20, in which case I will stop talking.
Oh
You
no.
have an advantage.
You have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, do I?
As day goes,
There we go.
I remember him. He's not nice. I remember him. He's very nice. I remember the two of them. They're okay.
That wasn't that so nice.
Sudi looks around at first and doesn't really recognize anybody, but then an 18 happens.
And then an 18 happens. You notice a few people that you recognize before. It's hard to pinpoint exactly whether they're King's Guard. If they are, they seem to be drinking a lot. They are not on duty.
Sweet.
Right.
So I'm going to begin walking through the crowd
Okay.
and do a little shopping.
Got it.
Shopping?
How's your sleight of hand, bro?
It's good. It's good.
It's really good.
Okay, give me some sleight of hand checks as you start making your way. What are you looking for exactly?
Gold.
Coin purses?
Yeah.
Are you stealing from anybody in particular?
Anyone with a large coin purse.
Whoa. Clarify.
Oh no.
Anyone with a.
How many are you
Hello,
stealing
way
from?
3.
You want to scan out the room?
Yeah, I'd like to scan.
Okay.
Just 2 pennies on the table.
I'll feel you when I get the magic.
You'll notice 2 marks as you start to move your way through. One is a hurried father who seems to be dragging his kids, but he's as the kids run up, he hands them the gold and they run off. Hands them the gold and they run off. But he's got a large sort of bunch of gold at his side. You see a gnome who is selling all sorts of sort of fireworks, arcane fireworks that they form all of these different animals in light and color and sound and sort of. There's one that he gives to a child that forms into a bird and sort of squawks at people. Then you see a rather corpulent man who seems to be walking through the area, and as a child gets in his way, he sort of pushes the child off to the side, and he is just sort of surveying everything and keeping an eye on things and looking at the booths. Occasionally he'll walk over to a booth, and somebody from the booth will sigh and hand him a couple of gold pieces or a little bit of the money that they've earned, and he'll look at it, put it in this pouch that he keeps on his side, and keep on moving.
That one.
Give me.
I don't steal from fathers, and I don't steal with fathers when their children are there.
Sure. I would say that you guys know his MO at this point. Do you guys do anything? Is this just a straight up, you're letting him do it?
I'm following him.
Okay.
I'm so done.
Do you need
I don't even care.
stealth? I'm gone this
How are you gonna help me?
Dee's not interested in this at all.
No.
I'd like to take Dee to show her a cool game.
Cool. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll handle the two of you, and you're just sort of like pouting, like sitting cross-legged on the ground.
Where are you going?
He's heading over to
The rock wall.
He's going over to the rock wall.
I want to get my rock
I'll
wall.
stick with him just so I keep track of someone.
Love it. Okay. Then let's do this. Okay. Let's do it in the order that it came. So let's go over to the rock wall. You sort of look behind you and you see Nyx that's sort of behind you and sort of like does not want to be here, arms crossed. You know, like this is stupid. I hate this game and I hate all of you.
I'll
Like,
take the
sort
rock
of
wall
thing.
though.
Yeah. You want to do the rock wall?
Yeah, I
I
don't
hate
care.
this game. I hate all of you, but
It's like I don't see how I could possibly get in trouble with a rock
God, I hate
wall.
this vacation.
it's
Ooh,
a
rock
Why'd you
wall.
say it? Why'd you have to say it? Once you say it, it's cursed.
So you notice that there's groups of people that sort of make their way, and there's a line, and then people sort of line up in groups of 2, and they talk to each other. And there's like a red side and a blue side, and he asked for
I'm taking blue.
blue, red.
Yeah.
So you guys sort of line up, and it takes a bit of time, but eventually you get yourselves to the rock wall, and you see like a sort of what looks to be a human, but he's a teenager, and he's welcome to the mythical rock wall. What would you like your difficulty setting to be at? Beginner, medium, or advanced?
Ooh, let's go advanced for fun. Let's keep it sporting when you say, brother.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, they're gonna go advance, and all of a sudden there is a rush as people start running over to where the rock wall is from the different stands in the different area, and they all sort of like stand there in anticipation. You make your way to the first sort of rung in the rock wall, and he goes, all right, on the count of 3, just be careful. And he pulls a wand out,
Nice.
and he goes, 1, 2, 3, and he casts. You put your hands on the rock wall, and you begin to take a step up. And as you do, you are transported to a mountainside. It is raining fire all around you from this mountainside, and as you look, there are large sort of dragons that seem to be flying off in the distance, and you recognize this immediately as the fire plane. Bits of lava are pooled at the ground beneath your feet, and you are I want to say like 200 feet up this sort of rock wall on this first rung. But you still see the multicolored rock rungs in the side of the rock wall.
So I'm making my way up the rock wall.
Sure.
Just as quick as possible. This
Give
should
me
be
an athletics check.
Yes. 6 plus 7, 13.
So you guys watch as Grim starts to make his way slowly up the rock wall. There is this weird moment where like they start looking around in awe and wonder, but everybody else behind them just sees these two people that are grabbed onto a rock wall and are going, wow! Like, first rung because you're the only ones that see it, and people are sort of laughing, and you see some side bets taking place. Give me an athletics check.
I'm gonna take a moment to just kind of
Hate your brother.
Oh, well, so you're just like, I don't like this?
just
Or?
a moment of just like I can't catch a break, and then I'll start climbing.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Okay. So there's a bit of a stumble as he takes his breath to go, and he's climbing up, and makes it's slowly but surely, like you're
Going
making
to
way.
take every precaution.
As you get to the middle rung and you sort of reach out above, your scene shifts and you are into an icy landscape, and it is like freezing cold as bits of ice and snow begin to fall about you. Now that you're at the middle rung, give me another athletics check or athletics check. Yeah,
Was the first one athletics?
athletics.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's all right. Give me another athletics check.
That's gonna be 15.
15.
We're going up, y'all.
18 for athletics.
18.
For athletics.
Yeah. You guys watch as begins to climb up, and the audience begins to. Yeah, so it's like you're a little bit muscled of a guy, but all of a sudden Nix pulls away from you, and you look over to the side, and he's scaling this.
Don't like the cold.
Yeah, this. That's what I mean.
Dealing
Like,
with this.
he hates the cold, and it's terrible.
That's terrible. That's different.
As you get to the third rung of this journey, and you place a hand up on it, you are in this plane where everything seems to be moving in weird sort of swirls and different colors. Different creatures are manifesting off in the horizon. You see a giant creature that's made of an eyeball with different eye stalks that seems to be floating slowly towards you as you climb to the third rung of this wall. Give me one more check.
Which one? Athletics or acrobatics?
Give me athletics.
Okay.
Nat 20, my friend.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh my god.
He just goes bold.
You guys watch, and it is almost a simultaneous synchronicity as the two of you climb to the top of this area, and just as you're reaching to the top, you both reach up and grab it and pull up, and as you do, you're standing at the top of this, and you're back at the festival as the beholder gets closer and closer, and one of its beams sort of shoots outward. You guys are at the top, and you both have been there, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, a tie!"
I'm gonna reach over and grab Nix's hand. I'm gonna hold it up. I'm the most triumphant.
I look like I'm surprised I didn't die.
Nix, you now have access to all of your cantrips.
Thank God.
Nice, buddy. You did it.
Oh. Thanks. Thank God.
As Grim takes your hand and shares this moment of triumph with you and sort of wraps you in sort of a bear hug.
Yeah.
It's like, we did it! Give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can maintain your footing at the top of the tower.
Me too. Or him.
No, he's holding on to you. So
That's
keep
gonna be a
going.
15.
No, you're fine. You go, whoa! And then you guys stop, and then...
Just
sort of-
kidding.
It's like, please, sir, I'm not trained for this! and you... he brings the wand out again and casts Featherfall on you, and the two of you sort of float down to the
I want to
ground.
do one of these things and pull out, just flick him a coin and be like, thank you so much.
We're not supposed to accept tips!
I'm gonna give him another one. For 2 gold.
No, please stop!
You got me once. You're good.
You are very handsome and smart.
Oh god.
And he takes that third one and he's
Of
like,
course.
I get to eat meat tonight.
I'm gonna give him the rest of my turkey leg. Just be like, there you go.
Where are you keeping that?
It was.
No, thank you, sir.
Very
That
much.
is much more impressive.
That looks both charbroiled and iced at the same time.
It's wonderful.
And it looks like a portion of it's been disintegrated.
And bitten.
Let's go now to the pickpocketing that seems to be taking place. How are you doing this, buddy? Are you just sort of like following along? How does Mandrake go about stealing?
He tends to like wait until they're in a crowd
Okay.
and then like do the sweep by.
Though I'd say you're paying close attention. You're staying far enough behind. Give me a perception check at advantage as you're sort of keeping an eye on Mandrake.
That would be really good.
Okay.
That would be a 23.
You doing any sort of con here? Or you're just gonna walk past him, and as you do, you're gonna grab this first.
I'm gonna walk. Wait,
You see all of this.
give me a moment.
Sure.
I'm gonna walk past, bump into him so that his hat falls off, bend down, pick up his hat, offer it to him.
Give me performance or deception. Your call here for the first part of this.
Does he? 10.
You sort of bump into him and knock his hat off. Oh, terribly sorry, sir. And you have this little smirk at the side of your mouth, as you've done this a couple of times before, and he sees it. And as he turns to you and goes, "Why don't you watch where you're going, boy?" And he does a 18 hit your AC.
Yes.
He takes his hand and just smacks you as hard as he can, and it knocks you down to the ground a little bit as this man has sort of like knocked you prone to the ground.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And I run over and I put my hand out to him.
That's it. Who?
Here, let me help you up.
I take her hand and stand up and wipe my face
Okay.
and go. Finally, a challenge.
Maybe you should leave the nice people alone, sir.
Were you not watching? He is not a nice person.
I was watching. Maybe you should just leave the people alone and keep your hands in your own pockets, sir.
Oh, so now it's going the right direction. Because before he was a nice person, now he's just a person.
Yes, listen to the filthy fur blog. They're good for something.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I punch you in the face.
Choice.
Make an attack roll for me.
There it is. No, I'm not good at punching.
So I can keep an eye on you.
I don't punch good.
In fact, I'm
Reasonable
so
one.
bad at punching. I just rolled a 4. It was a 2 plus 2.
It's not. Can't you say it was?
You watch as this hand sort of flies towards his face. He makes no move to avoid it. As Thoe goes to punch him in the face, he sort of looks at her, and as the hand gets close, it passes through where the face was. And he sort of looks at her and smiles. Give me a wisdom saving throw, Thoe.
They're good to do this.
Well, it's a 10. That's at least
Thoe, you don't know why, but I mean, this is like your best bud. Why would you try to hit your best bud?
Sorry, I'm sorry for swinging at you. I should not have done that. I'm not normally a violent person.
That's
I don't know
alright.
what came over me.
That's alright. These things happen. I think a little gold could help solve that.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Let me just find some gold. Yeah, and I pull out a gold piece and I hand it to him.
You see, son, the Furblobs are an inferior race. They don't know any better. It's like trying to train a dog or a cat. They're an animal. An animal has to be looked after. Otherwise, they get feral. You have to train them. Do you understand?
I understand that this fur blog is kind to everyone she sees. Even crotchety old.
Say it.
Thieves. gonna slap the coin out of her hand before it gets.
You probably shouldn't have done that.
I probably shouldn't have,
I'm
but I
gonna
don't
pick
think
up the coin off
usually.
the floor.
Now you're getting it. You have to train him. And he drops the charm. And walks off into the crowd.
I'm down to kill him.
What just happened?
So we have a new big baddie. That's all.
Let's go to the carnival games.
That's our new
Hi.
one.
I don't know why, but I just got this cool song that popped in my head. We're killing a man tonight for messing with the
You make your way towards these cool carnival games. Are you looking for anyone in particular? Are you looking for like cool prizes?
No, I actually have one in mind that is Dee's favorite, and
Okay.
they really want to show Dee this really fun game because it's a beautiful game.
Sure.
So, Dave, can I show you my favorite game?
Of course, dear.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take a look around for the teacups game.
Yeah, you see a fun little game that's sort of off in the area, and you see a large collection of sort of teacups set forth on a table. And do you want to describe? I have an idea for the teacups game, unless you have an idea.
Oh no, I have an idea.
You have an idea. So describe to me the teacups game that you see forth.
Sure. Dave, so how this works is, it's just like, maybe you've seen the ring toss game at other carnivals or
Yes.
festivals. Sure, it's very similar. But in this case, you are trying to get a very small stuffed chrysalis, if you will, into a teacup. And then
Oh.
there's a really neat effect when it happens.
Okay.
And it's, you want to just try it?
Sure.
To not spoil the surprise?
Sure.
Okay.
You walk forward, and there's sort of a very jovial sort of older man that's like, step right up, and throw the chrysalis in the teacup. See what you could win. Hello there, dearie. Would you like to play our little game?
And I'm going to pop a couple copper in his hand and ask for a few.
He takes the copper and hands you over, let's say 5 of the little games, and you give me 5 sort of. Just add your dex to this.
These are actually going to be handed today.
Day. So you've been given 5 little like stuffed chrysalis, and he says, try to throw them in the teacups if you can, dearie.
How many do I need to get in to win?
Well, just 1 for a small prize, but if you get in all 5, you get an even bigger prize.
Okay. She'll take the first one and try to throw it. Or she'll like underhandly.
Sure. Give me a d20 and add your dex modifier to it.
That's a 9.
Yeah, you throw and you just come a little short, as the teacups seem to be sort of like moving just enough on the table a little bit and sort of shifting. And yeah, occasionally you'll hear the word like change places, and all the teacups sort of move and shift about on the table.
It always happens on your first time. You have to try again.
Okay. 10.
Yeah, the second one misses as well.
Okay, so Dee's gonna kind of take a half step back and mumble and cast Bless on the next roll.
Okay. So you can roll this and add a d4 to it if you would like. Look over at enhance ability.
Plus my dex.
Add your dex to the d20 and then add a d4.
Okay. That's an 11.
11 total. It just doesn't quite. You got 2 more left.
Okay. It's a 5.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you're down to the final one, and he starts to feel a little bad and sort of like waves his hand, and you notice that the teacup, like the table, like inches closer a little bit.
She's also going to drop it, and then she's going to reach down to pick it up.
Oh my god, are you doing a banded snap on this poor carnival goer?
Hold on.
This is dark arcane trickery.
She's going to take the anklet that is around her ankle.
Okay.
That is going to change into one of the stuffed chrysalis because it's Mimi.
Yes.
and she's going to throw Mimi.
Give me this dexterity check at advantage.
It's my last one, God. 16.
You watch as the chrysalis goes, and it's a wide throw, and then all of a sudden it just goes, and like, and as it does, there's this sort of move where the chrysalis like sort of moves through the air and lands in the cup, and then you hear, and all the cups like get up and they start like dancing around the room. And sort of dancing around the table, and the cup that Mimi is in, unfortunately, is one of the cups that is dancing and sort of like twirling about and going up in the air, and like then all of a sudden the cup erupts into fireworks. There's a like.
Mimi, please be okay!
And D is just like, yay! Isn't this the most amazing thing? And you're hearing like tiny screams coming from as the cups all land back on the table, the man claps his hands, and you watch as a very frazzled Mimi sort of gets out of the cup and just
it's just under the table,
and, like,
back
it's
around my
under the table and wraps around your brace, and your bracelet just looks charred, but it's still there.
It's okay, I'll cast healing word on you later, baby. I'm sorry.
So, that, we could have done it a different way. I can show you the butterfly version.
As you could say
You
that,
just said that before my throat was charred.
Small thing.
as you say that, there is a very loud scream that seems to be coming from the center of the square. You look and about to see if it's the time of day for the parade, and it is not. There is then a loud rush of people from all of your various viewpoints as people start running away from a central square. As that happens, you guys all start hearing these little sounds of like, it's attacking people. It's attacking people in the center square. And it's like, we thought it was part of the show, but it's not. And then it's like, and then you hear a man, oh God, the children were in the center square. And as he says that, all of you turn to face before you as the person in the costume that looked like a Jabberwock is lifted into the air by a large black clawed hand that lifts this stuffed costume into the air and tosses it aside and screams as a group of children are menaced over as for the first time in all of your lives, you all witness a Jabberwocky that stands there drooling. It's drool all over everything, and it seems to be coming in and out of reality. And as it stops, it sort of turns its eyes to you.
What?
And burbled as it came.
A large burble escapes its mouth, and its eyes flash. Bright yellow. Like your eyes do. When you channel the wolf inside you. And that's where we're going to take our intermission. We'll be right back. We're going to go get some drinks, we're going to go get some food, but stay tuned, stay with us, and we are going to get things rolling here in just a second. Let's get some drinks, let's go use the restroom, we'll come back as fast as we possibly can.
must rise. You must overcome.
Hi everybody, we are back. We're still waiting for a few members to come back and join us here at the table. No, it's fine. Take your time. You're good. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope you're having a good time. Don't forget tonight, as you can with any Wonder game, you can spend 300 bits to change the fate. What that means is it can be a good change to the fates or a bad change to the fates, and it usually means something catastrophic for these guys in the best way or the worst.
Took our magic. What more can you do?
Do not
Do you want to ask that question?
Wait, that's not what.
That is not what I read.
Each of you have access to your cantrips at this point, if you have any cantrips that you can cast.
Okay.
So you have access to those as
Good enough
well.
for me. I'm done.
We're not having cantrips.
You don't have magic.
But you also have access to your weapons. The magical properties have been
Cool.
stripped away from them.
Oh.
If there were any pluses to them, if there were anything along those
so my
lines
ring
of
works
whatever. No. Your ring is a magical weapon, is it not? The magical weapon of giant slaying?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So Ring of the Giant Killer?
Yes. That is a magical ring. But thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that we've got lots of cool things happening here on the channel. I will announce to you guys that we have a fun charity that we're going to be starting up here on the channel, where we are going to do sponsored packs for new players that are new to the game of Dungeons and Dragons. We found some player packs that each one is going to come with dice, a preliminary adventure, some pre-made character sheets, and a little introduction to the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And so we're going to be able to introduce that as well. So
You also have to give our good news. I
I haven't even talked to you guys about this. Currently submitted to the Apple iTunes Store is the very first episode of Wonder to be in podcast form. So Wonder's getting a podcast. You can check that. I'll have information for that as soon as it gets approved by the Apple iTunes Store. But it is the Wonder logo. You'll be able to find it. I believe it's listed under the Indigo Chameleon podcast. So you'll be able to find it that way, but you'll be able to listen to these amazing guys and be gentle with me. I'm still getting into audio editing, and it is a freshman sort of endeavor. And the more I learn about it, the more I'll be able to learn about this. But it is the first episode of Wonder, and I'm really happy that now I can listen to it in my car and just be like, I know those guys because I'm one of them. So
I can also hear my voice.
I can also hear my voice, and it's so great and sexy. And that's my birthday. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. But the first time any information about that drops, it's going to drop on the Discord. So you're going to want to hang out there. It is your one-stop shop for information on Indigo, memes, and all sorts of crazy, awesome, fun stuff. And if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight and you want to stick around and be a part of the family, be sure to click that little heart up in the upper corner. Or if you're feeling magnanimous, you can always subscribe. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually subscribe for free. So be sure to do that as well. That would be great. Aaron T, thank you for just joining the Indigo Chameleon server. We're very happy to have you. And all of that being said, we're now going to jump right back into the action as you all watch from your different vantage points here at the mouth as this sort of large hulking beast has made its way into the sort of square, one of the center areas for the festival, and is towering over the children that are gathered about right there.
So if I notice this beast is changing, then I want to make my way as quickly as I can to where it is.
Sure. I'm going to. I'll say that you are fast enough, and that you notice this soon enough that you'll be able to take off at a sprint. So Nix, you watch as your traveling companion Grim sort of takes off at a bold sprint towards this hulking beast in the center.
I'm following.
Yep. Nix is right behind you.
Sweet. Because I noticed that its eyes are changing, I want to see if I could. I mean, it didn't work for me in the house, but I just want to give my best shot again, just to try to, have my eyes change to that same shade.
You reach out to the beast within you, and it looks over at you as you try to change, and gives a wide smile, and those eyes flash yellow again. He's like, "Who are you reaching out for?"
I'm reaching out for what's inside. What powers me, what strengthens me.
Okay. 18. As this creature tries to pick you up and grapple you, you can give me a contested sort of
I'm gonna
athletics, acrobatics.
Okay, so that's going to be a 16.
Nope. This thing picks you up and it lifts you up into the air, and as it does, it goes, "There is nothing inside you."
What do you mean nothing inside me? Of course there's something inside me.
No. I offered my assistance, and you turned me down. You are not the pack leader.
In
A
what?
pack leader would not be told by someone else to hold onto someone. They would make their own decisions, and they would own those decisions. You are not pack. I have found stronger pack.
He is a friend. He is part of my pack. I choose what I want.
Then you chose wrong. And he drops you.
Oh god.
You are knocked prone on the ground as this creature is sort of not making a move, but sort of towering over you and the children at this point. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, I imagine, as people are joining the fray and things of that sort. Nat 22! This thing's going first, like a boss.
Now, where did you roll that now?
Yeah, I was gonna say. What did you use?
Okay.
I just got a brand new set of dice today that I am in love with, and they are the most wonderful dice ever. This right here, this bad boy is a D14. This is my D22. I'll take some pictures of these and post them in the Discord. I believe, yep, this is my D18 right here. This is my D5. And this is my D7. So, Nat 22. And this is my awesome brand. Oh god, hang on. No, it's delicate, but those little sheath spears. Hang on. I can do this.
I'm gonna glue it, so you can't do that.
Yeah. You may need to glue it. So this is my new dice tower. I'm gonna fix it here in a second.
It's so pretty.
It is.
And it's
cool.
dangerous, is what it is.
It's very dangerous. The first time I rolled dice in this, I got max amounts on every single dice from a particular set. I rolled an entire set. I got a 20 on the 20 and 8 on the 8. Like, it was awesome. So yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let us go through initiative. Who got 20 to 25 on initiative?
I got 20.
20.
I also got 20.
20.
20.
23. You roll off.
Darn it, you guys!
I'm not in initiative.
Hey,
Because
guys.
I'm prone.
No, you can roll initiative for me. Roll off.
No, he just
I got an 8 on that one.
8.
Oh, 10.
You just want to know
10,
what's on the
15
die.
on the die.
Nix, for the first time in his life, is going first.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
That's a good die.
15. Wait, who got 15?
He got 10, I got 8 on that, so we all got 20, so we rolled
You
off.
said you got 15?
Yeah, but we were on a roll off.
They were on a
Roll off.
20.
We're gonna roll off,
Yeah.
so it doesn't affect your
Because
initiative.
I rolled
What about you, dear? 8.
3
3.
15.
What's your modifier?
plus 1.
Okay.
Do you see what our initiative? I'm very proud of you.
All right, first up is going to, thank you so much. First up is going to be the Jabberwocky.
Oh, no.
course.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
As he goes to growl at some of these children. Some of the children sort of scatter off in different directions, and he sort of relishes in this a little bit as they scream in fear. He sort of takes a deep breath inward, soaking up a bit of that fear. As he does, he almost looks like he's getting a little taller. Nyx.
I'm gonna cast Frostbite.
Okay.
That's con 15.
Okay. Con of 15. He fails.
Great. That's gonna be 6
6.
6 points of damage.
Okay, cool. Any other effects with frostbite that I should be aware of?
Has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. So for all the weapons it's got.
Sure. Yeah. You watch as this,
All the swords in his
as
pocket.
Nyx sends a bit of arcane energy outward, and as it does, the cold sort of envelops him. And you watch as the Jabberwocky, as a little bit of the cold sort of rises up, and the Jabberwocky manages to suppress it, but it still looks like a little bit of the skin is frostbitten at least. Mandrake.
How large is the square?
Pretty large. I'm gonna say like 20 feet.
20 feet?
Yeah.
And there's tall buildings all around?
Yeah, kind of.
And how
Little
tall-
shops and things
How
of
tall
that
is
sort.
Jabberwocky?
Jabberwocky's getting taller by the minute. It's almost at the crest of these buildings now.
Okay. So I am going to run up the side of the building,
Okay.
jump off, and take my rapier
Okay.
and stab at his head.
Stab at the Jabberwocky's head.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, you need to give me an acrobatics.
Not a
as-
problem.
As your bonus action here, I'm gonna have you run as you parkour.
20.
High risk, high reward. Okay, you manage to do this thing where you sort of run up a building and manage to get your way up to the building and then sort of spring up 1, 2, 3, spring off of it as you do draw your sword. Give me an attack roll against the Jabberwocky. Okay.
19.
Okay, the sword, do you let go of the sword or do you just like poke through and then...
Nope. I hold on.
You go through the head.
Oh, great. Well, that was not very good.
No, like you
Oh,
go like...
I go
you go
through
to
the head?
Stab and you go like through the head and out the other side.
Oh.
So you're just hanging at the head?
You are not
No.
covered in any viscera, you are not covered in any blood or anything along those sorts.
Okay. Okay. I am going to
That is
use
your
my
turn.
bonus.
No, your
Oh,
bonus
my
was
bonus
the
action
other.
was the running up.
Day.
So we don't have any of our magic?
Cantrips.
We have
You
none of our
cantrips.
spells?
Access to cantrips.
Cool.
A bardic inspiration as well.
What does this thing speak? Does it speak common?
You haven't spoken to it.
She's gonna cast message to it and be like, what do you want?
Where are you cast? You're casting it towards the creature.
Directly at the Jabberwocky. 120 feet. Like standing there, just full blown.
You don't get a response.
Does by casting message do I like figure out?
How about this? The message doesn't find traction. Like it's like the text message gets bounced back. The Jabberwocky you have tried to dial is no longer in service.
It's a mailer demon.
Okay. Okay, so as a bonus action, she's just gonna inspire him since he's hanging on by a head.
No,
I went through.
You went through and
Here's
down.
the head. Here's the
Okay,
head.
then.
Sword through the head, out the other side. He's not covered in any blood. He just
Okay,
managed
then
to
she's
wound it.
actually instead she's gonna run over to him and cast Healing Word at 2nd level. Or he's prone. He's not taking damage.
He's prone. He's not taking damage.
With prone,
But
can
you
you?
wouldn't know that.
Okay, she's
So
just.
healing word.
Yeah, she'll cast Healing Word on him, which is gonna be. I feel like I'm wasting spell. 2d4 plus 3.
Yep.
And it's the 2d4 and then you add 3.
Yep.
8.
You feel the healing magic of Day sort of go from you. As you do Day, you have access to all of your spells for your next turn. Chris.
So that's enough to get me up?
Yeah, dude. Well,
Sweet.
I mean, it's going to take half your movement to get up off the ground. So
Sweet.
it just takes half your movement and you're next to this thing.
Cool. I'm just gonna get up and. Oh man, I wouldn't have seen you do anything. 'Cause
Nope.
I was down. I am gonna. I'm taking my glaive and I am just gonna go for the throw. Just try to cut him something.
Okay, yeah. You notice the same thing. Give me an attack roll.
Yeah, attack roll. Oop. Okay. That's
you slice upward with your glaive, and as you slice upward with your glaive, there was a sound, there was a guttural roar that sort of emits from this thing, and it grabs at its neck for a little bit, and then yeah.
Good. Okay. So I wounded it-ish.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Meredith.
Alright, how close did we, Day and I manage to get?
You're fairly within the same distance. I would say you're about 30 feet away from this thing.
Oh, jeez.
Still a whole bunch of kids sort of cowering around like that.
On all sides? Children?
No, just in front of it, like directly in front of it.
Does it appear that the children are the target, or is that just happenstance?
Give me an insight check.
Sure, happily. 13.
Me no.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. A lot of them look very, very scared, and so you don't know if they're frozen in fear or frozen in place, but they are not really moving from this scene.
Okay. Dee's prioritizing the children.
Okay.
And is going to use probably the entire action to get close to them.
Okay. How close?
To them, to the children.
Are you grabbing like one of the kids and
or cattle prodding like?
Sure. As you move forward towards the children, you place your hands. All right, let's go, and your hands go right through them.
And he keeps walking. He just continues like as if they were not there.
Yeah.
Like just continue. Just oh god.
Everything is fake. Nothing is real.
Yeah.
Is it me?
It is your
It's me.
turn.
Okay. I have to ask. I have been able to control the infestation before. Like infestation, I've been able to choose what the infestation is.
Okay.
Number one, can I do that? And number two, if you're hesitant about that, can I forego damage from the infestation in order to be able to do that?
That seems like a fair trade to me.
Okay.
Yes.
So I cast infestation.
Okay.
But I tried to duplicate the caterpillar version of the butterfly
Okay.
that has been visiting me. So an infestation of those butterflies.
The butterflies themselves.
The butterflies, because caterpillars wouldn't be able to get that far, but the butterflies could fly in that direction. And I say, "Begone, manxome foe!"
Okay. Normally it's mites, fleas, and other parasites
Right.
to appear
But I
on
made
the creature.
ladybugs before.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. You know what? I'll allow this. It's a cool move. The butterflies sort of fly outward, and as they do, they start flying towards this Jabberwocky, and as they fly towards it, there's a bit of the
Normally he would have to make a con save, but that's also for damage. So whatever.
True. I would say as the butterflies fly towards it, there is a spark of the divine that erupts from your necklace. And as it does, those butterflies ignite in a blue flame, and it turns into a... as they do, the illusion of the Jabberwock and the children all fade.
So it's no longer there.
No.
Okay. All right. So did anybody see where this started? What was the point? Where did that come from?
Give me a
I'm looking around for anyone who could
give me a
create
perception
illusion.
check.
Okay.
Combat.
You're out of
don't know.
combat.
I have no idea.
All of us can roll.
I
As
said it out
Stoey
loud,
goes,
so-
everybody starts looking around. Where did this originate from? Where did this come from?
Nat 20.
Nice.
Well,
I got 21.
makes sense.
You are the only one who notices a very large, corpulent man that is off in the corner that you place a hand through earlier, and as he's there, he has turned away and is walking off into the crowd. With a much larger coin purse than he had to begin with. As you notice this, I would say with all of your perception checks,
Well, we got a net 20 over here.
you got a nat 20.
Nat 20.
You notice that all of the vendors, when this happened, left
Right.
their carts.
Let me get a history or something as a vendor,
Yeah,
to see if this is something expected or just a preservation method.
sure.
What do you want?
Give me a history check then. I would say this is weird. It would be like knowledge local if this was 3.5.
You don't have to do that. 23.
There's been a string of robberies that have been taking place, and you notice that this is not an uncommon. This isn't an uncommon thing. You cause a big distraction, and while it's happening, over here, people are being robbed blind.
Okay.
And everyone started running. It's the children. Somebody's got to save the
Sure.
kids. Like and as this was happening, this person was sort of off in the corner.
Snatch and grab.
Dee's gonna check their own pocketbook as a vendor to see if the targeting was affected to just
Your stuff or in the booth itself,
no,
like
no, no.
over your booth.
The one on their side.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Or you know what? No,
I'm
you
just
can
gonna
just
open
look.
my bag and
You
look.
look in your bag. No, your gold is still there.
Okay. All right. Cool.
How
Yeah.
far away is he?
He is about 50 feet away.
50 feet?
Yeah.
There.
And gaining speed, he's at a bit of a rush. now.
Okay.
Is that possible?
I'm going to point
Magic.
and say it was him.
You're pointing and
I'm
he's
gonna-
50 feet away. She's gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at level 2.
Okay.
So that's a Wisdom of 14.
Okay. Where are you aiming this? For the guy?
Yeah, at the guy who's running away and is apparently a bad guy. I did.
Dissonant Whispers is extremely effective. What happens?
So he takes 4d6 of damage.
Yeah.
And I am hoping this son of a bee knocks to the ground because I'm fed up with people hurting people. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. You watch as he sort of grabs his head as these sort of dissonant whispers issue forth from Day and sort of filling the space. As it does, he stops in his tracks and turns around to look at you, who has just cast this spell. And as he does, he sort of cocks his head off to the side a little bit and looks over at you. And then looks at the group of people that are gathered about and sees Thoe and smirks. And if no one does anything...
I'm going to cast Frostbite.
You're going to cast Frostbite?
Yes.
Alright, what is the range on Frostbite?
60 feet. You said 50 he was away?
Yes.
Okay, 60 feet.
Alright.
Con 15.
Yeah.
3 damage.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna just start running after him. I mean, I don't. If our magical items aren't in use or can't be used right now, I'm just gonna try to run as fast as I possibly can.
Sure. Thoe, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
13 plus 6, 29 now.
Thoe, you see a jagged crown of thorns appear over your head, but you are able to push it off to the side as it manifests itself on your head. Then you also give me a wisdom saving throw.
9.
That jagged crown of thorns, even though you were able to push it off to the side, you see as it affixes itself to Grimm's head, and Grimm, you turn around. Use my D5 here. Grimm goes running towards Thoe.
Oh no.
Same kind of thing. I don't.
We're gonna go back into the initiative order, but we're gonna use the same initiative from before. I will say, Meredith, you were up next. You've just seen this crown of thorns manifest itself on his head and run forward, and this gentleman is walking off into the crowd.
How many?
He has stopped moving at this point.
Is he turned around facing us again?
He's turned around facing you.
Okay. How many passersby and sundry people are still standing around where D is presently? Like randos. Is there still a crowd gathering? Yeah. Okay. So D's gonna take a sec and like pop behind someone and switch
Mhm.
into random person number 7,
Okay.
and then book,
Yeah.
and then book just towards the rope, the dude.
You are booking towards this dude, and this dude is still standing there, but doesn't seem to be reacting at all to you as you're sort of running forward towards them as a random person. Give me a perception check.
That's under P. 16.
You see this little gnome that is like not this big fact, but this little gnome that has run off and is running full tilt away from where this like large man was. And it's weird because everybody else at this point had sort of vacated the area, and you don't know where this guy came from, but this little gnome is standing like right there, and is running full fucking speed.
Okay. All right. So the gnome is not a previously known to the gnome. Is that true or false? No previous knowledge of this face.
It's hard to tell from the back. I give you a high DC as you give me a perception check at this, but roll high.
17. It's not.
I mean, you think he looks familiar, but it's hard to tell.
It's a gnome. Sure.
It's a gnome.
They're all just little dudes.
Tracy,
You've got a lot of.
Chris is running towards you.
All right, so what I'm picturing is there's this guy, the guy who was mean to me
Sicily guy,
earlier.
you know? Yes.
The guy who was mean to me earlier. Chris running at me, and then like in between me and that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna direwolf and run towards Chris.
Okay.
And I want to jump over him and go after that guy.
Cool. You watch as Zoe once again starts to channel this energy as she's running forward, and as she does, she sort of changes into a Pomeranian again, and it's this cute little dog. But as she goes to jump over Chris and avoid him completely, the Pomeranian morphs into that of a large direwolf and jumps over, and it's almost this like. As it jumps over you and heads towards this large man that's in the center. Nyx.
Yeah. I'll go for create bonfire. Dex 15.
Okay. Where are you casting it?
Jesus.
On his right where he's standing.
Sure. I will say that a large bonfire starts crackling up and into and out of where this person is.
Bro, you don't exist.
So
So that's my turn?
that's 9 damage.
No, I'm.
No, I'm rolling the wrong thing. That's why I did that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 8 damage.
That's cute.
And it's.
Mandrake.
I want to scan and find out who is looking directly at Grim.
No one is looking.
No one's looking directly at Grim. Then
Give me a perception check.
20.
There's a little gnome that's running
Away. I'm gonna chase that
little
gnome.
legs as fast as he possibly can.
I'm going to chase that gnome using Expeditious Retreat.
Okay. I would say based on the gnome's speed is lower than yours, and even though he was a bit far away and using Expeditious Retreat, you have now caught up to the gnome, and this gnome looks like frantic.
Right. Because I don't have any more actions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who I am?
He spits in your face.
Oh,
Got it.
bird.
You will regret that.
Day.
Spitting's a free action.
It's a free action. So he's on the ground, and though he's running after him, Crown of Madness.
See. That's just my stage name.
I don't like it sometimes. She's honestly at this point she's just like, what the hell is going on? So she is going to bypass him completely and Nyx and walk straight up to him and be like, "Do we have a problem?"
To him,
Not to him, to the guy on fire.
do we have a problem here, homie? Like, and you sort of like reach out a hand, and I think at that point, as you say, like, do we have a problem? It just sort of the illusion evaporates.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Are they okay? He's like, Crown of Madness is gone.
No.
I still go.
Chris, give me an attack roll. Actually.
Wait. Well, no. Okay.
I tried super hard, you guys. I had no more action.
I was gonna say stop looking for action because I want to like see if I can see anybody who's like looks like they're casting spells.
You don't see anybody casting spells, but you see a little gnome who's running away from the scene as fast as and he's the only other person in the area. And you realize that when you cast Crown of Thorns, you didn't have to maintain. You had to use your action to maintain the spell, but you did not have to maintain sight the entire time that on the person.
Shine after a gnome.
D20?
You know what? No. I will say at this point, he's feeling a little cornered. You feel the crown sort of dissipate from your head, and we are out of initiative as this little gnome has spit into the face of Mandrake Madigan.
How big are gnomes?
Which one?
Okay. 3 feet.
3 feet? Okay.
That's
I'm
like
gonna
4
grab him by his throat and lift him off the ground.
Wow.
He stares at you. He doesn't say anything.
By this point, have I been able to make a turn and head towards him, and I see what's going on?
You see Mandrake holding up a small gnome now, with his belt is covered in coin purses.
Okay, and I drop my wild shape,
Okay.
and I walk up to him, and I say, "Do we have a problem?"
Who are you addressing?
Him.
Okay. That's just.
I was really mean to me earlier.
Day's also gonna pull out a like a handkerchief or something and hand it to Mandrake.
Okay.
I'm gonna wipe the spit off my face. I'm going to begin detaching the coin purses that are attached to him.
Okay.
Be careful with this one. She makes
And say, who are you? You can tell me, or I can make you tell me.
You see, that never works in the past.
He does not say anything.
Day.
Mandrake?
The reason I took precautions earlier is because you can make people say things they don't want to.
Yeah, you keep saying
Please
that.
do that now.
Excuse me, gnome. Hello. I'm really sorry about this one. Have you dropped him?
Nope, I'm still holding him up by his throat.
Can you please just drop him? I don't know how he's gonna talk if you're choking him. He can't get any air through.
Maybe drop gently.
I will place him on the ground.
There is more than enough of us here. He can't run far.
Okay.
Gnome? May I have your name, please?
No, you may not.
That's fair. Why not?
Because I don't wish to give it to you.
That's even more fair. Can I ask? Actually, no. I'm rephrasing this. Why were you hurting my friends?
How did I hurt your friends?
Well. Excellent point. I have nothing to give here.
I can jump in here. You picked up Grim. You knocked him out. You then Crown of Thorns him and had him go after Thoe.
I was merely defending myself.
Defending yourself.
From
The group of you who were chasing after me.
when we were...
Chasing after me?
Yeah, but we weren't chasing after you until after you cast the spells.
Why did you?
He reaches to his side.
Okay.
And he picks out a small bead.
Oh.
A bead?
Uh-huh.
Bead.
Anybody? No.
We're still on cantrips only, right?
Cantrips.
Nope, you are back, so you
We're-
have access to all
Oh.
spells.
Okay.
Thoe or all?
Thody.
Okay.
And
Day.
And Day. And you
Mix
next.
the cantrips.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
Has enough time gone by that I've made it back to the group?
Sure.
Cool.
Okay, so here's the thing: is we all have a lot of things that
He
we
shoves
can
the bead in his mouth.
do.
This is something I can just grab his mouth like kids do, where you grab like right there like their cheeks and keep it separated so we can't swallow it, or touch it and make it spit it out.
Give me a contested dex check. Actually, you make this fair. You come over here. Roll this.
I'm gonna cast.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast.
can I dispel magic on whatever he just put in his mouth?
Straight D20.
That would probably fix things easier than what I'm doing.
Oh no!
Well, I'll just put that down.
What have you,
Yep, that's.
what have you done, Dimitri?
The gnome shoves the bead into his mouth and then manages to swallow it before it does. As he does, he stares at you and he goes, "Do you know how many gnomes died because they wanted to punish you when you left?"
No.
And he explodes.
Oh god.
I mean, it is like blood everywhere. Like it is a explosion from within his gnomish body, and it just goes, and like there is gnome everywhere.
Yeah. And
No.
D is seething. And furious takes a step forward and is going to cast Revivify.
Okay.
Cool.
And we gonna have some talking. Wait. The pocket that had the bead in it is now exploded gnome, right?
Exploded.
Let's do this.
Exploded. Cool. How long does Revivify take? What's the is there a casting time on that, or is it an action?
That's the duration though.
No.
It doesn't have a time. It says the duration is instantaneous.
Okay.
so
It does cost a huge diamond.
Oh yeah.
So all of the money that you made during this is
Gone.
gone. As you watch as your new compatriot Dee sort of walks forward, and as she does, you smell.
The person that they do not recognize as being D.
The person they do not recognize as being Dee.
It can't restore any missing body parts, so you'll have to collect it.
Oh, gross.
There's some collecting. I assumed that there was some
Sure,
collecting
let's
and
do
putting
it.
together. So they're probably missing a pinky at one point. Like.
Oh, darn.
You got 1 minute.
Prestidigitation.
You got 1 minute to
The
collect.
gnome wakes up very confused and sort of starts frantically looking around and reaches to his side again, but there's nothing
With
there.
what fingers, my friend?
Yeah, like he still has some fingers. He
Sure.
said missing a pinky, unless we are introducing the new arch nemesis, Stubby the gnome.
So, D is very upset. This person has interfered with their income
Sure.
and the safety of the marketplace.
Yes.
And D is going to command the attention of the person before them,
Okay.
and just by being full front and center, and then grit their teeth,
Okay.
take a deep breath, and who else has been stealing from the vendors?
Give me an intimidation check. At advance, which you just brought him back from death. He's like, at least I made it to the what the?
No!
Oh no! Okay.
Sure. That will be a 13.
He.
Oh, no. I can't math. 18.
That's better.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's a little
I would
bit.
like to aid her in this intimidation.
15 plus 13.
He sort of thinks for a second, and he says, "There are many others."
Your name, now that you're dead and gone, what is it?
Oswald.
And now that you're dead, will you betray the others?
No.
other spells work on brought back creatures? Because I don't know.
He is, for all intents and purposes, alive and kicking.
Okay.
But just a heads up, you are not going to be able to
No.
cast this again.
No.
Oswald,
I don't want to
I
charm
feel.
him.
That's what I was about to do.
I know. I really don't. But
I feel as though we're at a misunderstanding. You see, we were sent here by our quote-unquote mother and father
Unquote.
because we were quarreling with each other. Long story. Won't get into it. We don't have much time, I'm sure. But the thing is that when we were sent here, we were told we were just going to be playing some games and having some fun things. However, now there is a small gnome, and that changes things. There was an illusion of what seemed to be a Jabberwocky, seemed to be an illusion. There was a fight with fire, and then a crown of madness, and then there were people hurting other things, seemingly. It's a lot of confusion, and I realize that I'm talking a lot. But the thing is that what I don't understand here is what the hell just happened?
I think he starts to glaze over a little bit during this speech, and then you go, "What the hell just happened?" It sort of snaps
That was
him
the
out of-
point.
Yeah. Give me an intimidation check from you as well.
Okay.
Me?
No, her. She was the one
I'm
doing all
like,
the
I haven't said
talking.
anything yet.
You're like,
yeah! Yeah!
Which 19.
He just he deflates a little bit and says I don't know. We make good money this way. There's never more people than during the festival.
You did not make any of that money.
I made that money.
Oh, so literally this whole thing was just about taking money. That's all you wanted.
Yes.
You just wanted money.
Yes.
So you made an illusion to scare people away from their carts to take their money.
Yes.
They've been doing that for weeks now.
Okay, but this is all it is. So what I understand is that we can knock him out.
yeah, but there's more of them.
Can I?
Shut up.
Oh, if you think
Oh, where's the others?
that I will not seek out your
How much
small
money do you make on
friends.
something like this?
He like looks down at the ground.
Do you have a
Oswald.
problem with me?
Oswald.
Give me a number.
You don't belong here.
I don't belong here, or we don't belong here.
You don't belong here.
Why don't I belong here?
Because you're a beast.
I am not a beast.
Look
You're a
at-
beast.
Look at you.
What is wrong with me?
You're a monster. You're an animal.
I'm not stealing from anybody. You're the animal.
Can we?
And there's nothing wrong with animals anyway. You know what? You're not an animal. Animals are better than you.
It's not better. How much?
How much what?
How much do you make on something like this?
On a good day?
Yeah. On a great day.
100 gold.
That doesn't stop them from stealing, dear.
I'm just curious.
I understand.
I can ask her person.
Oh no.
You're right.
I didn't need to roll for that, but
Ooh.
he does.
No, I know.
Ooh, but he knew that.
How does
Poor
that
dice
go?
tower. So wisdom save of 14.
Yeah, it did not work.
Hey there. You want to tell us more about this really cool operation you got going?
Sure.
What are you going to tell us?
I'm gonna tell you that you'll never find us.
I hate that dice tower, you know.
We are the forgotten. We are the lost. We are the people that have been forgotten.
You better hope you stay forgotten. You better hope you stay lost.
I'm gonna put my
Chloe.
arm between Zoe and the gnome. And having been silent this whole time, I'm going to say, I'm sorry.
And he's going to stare down Andrew.
At this point, a contingent of red guards sort of make their way forward.
Great.
And
She's gonna stealth.
yeah, no, that's fine. You're still in your disguise, right?
I-
If you're still in the brooch.
Oh, it's at will right now, isn't it?
It's you're still in your brooch.
Yeah, the bird. Yeah, you were gifted the bird.
Okay, she's going to turn into just like one of the people she saw?
That's
What
what
a
they were-
vendor that she saw?
As you sort of turn into that, the red guards come up and it's is this the one that was causing all the commotion?
The same and very one that has been running rampant and stealing our money for the last few weeks, and he says there are others.
This way, Tolswold.
I'm going to take the gold that I gathered,
Yeah.
hand it to them, and say, no harm done. And he won't do it again.
Toswald is picked up very handily by the people, and as he's sort of dragged away, they put him in chains, and as they pick him up, he's little. It doesn't take that long of a time to pick him up and drag him off into the distance. As he is picked up and dragged away, he flashes his eyes towards you, and they turn a bright, bright yellow, and he sort of smirks. And as he's tossed into the back of this wagon, you receive the message spell in your head. And he goes, "You'll never find him." And the wagon is carted off.
She stops and she looks over and she says, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
I see you. There's some good in there, huh? You don't want to admit it, but it's there.
A doorway opens up in front of all of you, leading back into Father's den, who seems to be sitting in a chair. D, it's a little strange to see this door sort of open up. You've seen strange magics in your journeys like this before, but to have it open up into a very warm home with
Interior
heart,
space.
in an interior space, and you're like this is bad, but it's not bad. I mean, this looks very cozy and warm and nice, and you have the option of either staying here or going inside.
It's safe in there.
Well, that was the one thing that could change it. Deal will go.
We don't know exactly because two people have invaded our house and we don't know where they're from.
They were literally created by the house.
What?
They were literally created by the house.
Well, that's what they said.
Yes, but the wizard has the spell to protect our house, so.
That and you detected magic.
No, I couldn't do any magic.
That's fair.
They took our magic away from us.
Sure.
I already got it back.
So do it now.
Detect magic?
See what they are.
Okay. So I go in. Are they there when we go in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and
Mother and father.
Detect magic is 30 foot, so as long as I'm within 30 feet of them. Okay, cast detect magic.
You notice, your detect magic spell goes off without a hitch. You're seeing lines of magic that seems to be radiating from all different points within the house, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, the chairs, the father who is in his den, and all of these sort of pieces of magic that sort of sit there. You don't detect any sort of malicious magic. You see these things in these bright druidic colors. I think that's what we've talked about before, and you're seeing these light greens and things of that sort. You're seeing the lines of abjuration magic that seem to run throughout the entire house. You're seeing evocation and magic sort of radiating from Father in his study, and he ushers you into the room, and Mother walks in carrying a tray of Rice Krispie treats, which she sets on a table in front of everyone. There was a pitcher of orange liquid in it that smells kind of, but not quite orange juice.
It's tang.
Yes.
And Father goes, "Well, did you enjoy yourselves at the fair?"
Well, I suppose we had a mixed reaction, but it
War-
wasn't all bad.
War is coming. We don't have time for this. Yes, you are powerful, and yes, you are deceitful, and yes, you are magical and capable of a great many things. But as your father, I am here to tell you that as bad as you think you are, as broken as you think you are, as great as you think you are, there is always someone bigger, someone worse, someone more powerful. And we don't have time for this. Things are waking up. Bigger than you. The people that you can save with your collective strengths. I'm not asking you to sacrifice your individuality, but we made a covenant, you and I. Whether you agreed to it or not, whether you knew it or not, when you stepped foot into this house, the bastion between worlds, you and I, we made a covenant. You wouldn't have been able to step through this if there wasn't good in you. I was not angry at you. I was just disappointed.
Dee doesn't know this man, but recoils.
Because none of you see yourselves the way that I do. And every minute that you spend casting aspersions, holding people down, breaking promises, is one more life left to the dust. One more gnome creating havoc in a place, causing mass destruction and hysteria. And you did all of this, not at full power. Whether you like it or not, you have a job to do. You didn't sign up for it. The terms are unclear. Just as in life, you are not always going to know the terms of your agreement. But the world needs you. The house needs you. Go to your room. And Father disappears.
I'm going back to my room. I'm not going to say anything to anybody.
Is Mother still
I'm
there?
pretty shook.
Mother is still there. Okay. And Mother just sort of sits and goes, I can make dinner. I promise, no more punishments. I would hate for your father to have to come home and deal with anything, but right now he's away on a business trip. Very long time, or so I'm told. And I am sorry for punishing you, and I promise it won't happen again. You must learn to be independent at some point.
I'm going to. She's sitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to place a hand on her shoulder and say, I'm sorry, Mother.
It's all right.
We shouldn't have quarreled.
You're all very good children. And I will do my best to take away some of the stress and make this a good home for all of you. Take away some of the burdens. I've even been working on some things that I think will make things a little easier to defend in the future. There's a very nice wizard downstairs that I've worked with quite a bit, and he seems to have full confidence in me, and we seem to have struck up quite a partnership. I am very proud of all of you.
Why don't you sit? And I'll make dinner.
Noted. You're a good boy, but I'm a better cook. And she gets up and moves into the kitchen. The night comes to a close. You have full access to your magical abilities. Mother heads towards the kitchen. Bandy comes downstairs and sort of interacts with all of you, hugging. If there's anything that you would like to do with your evening, you can.
I just want to check in on Dave. You okay?
No.
That's fair. Can I do anything?
No.
I mean, I'll punch him. It won't be very hard, but I'll do it. I mean, the house might turn on us and we might lose all of our magic, but I would do it for you.
I appreciate that.
I want you to be okay.
I blame myself more than them.
Why do you blame yourself?
Because I let it happen. And Zoe, never put yourself in that position, okay?
Trusting people?
Not necessarily.
Okay, then why did you let it happen? They did the wrong thing, you know. You trusted them. They did the wrong thing. They messed up. Now, that doesn't mean that they messed up forever, and that doesn't mean they can't fix it. And that doesn't mean they can't gain your trust again, but they messed up.
They did. And I'm angry. And I'm sad. I'm hurt. And I feel like I'm in a repetitive state of frustrations at the world. But the common denominator here is me.
Well, isn't the common denominator for all of us when we're having problems us? I don't think you should blame yourself here. You're a good person.
Thanks, Zoe.
I'm gonna be hanging out in the common room, not hiding in my room.
Mother brings over a cup of tea, and sets it up.
Thank you.
She starts humming. It's a familiar song from your childhood. Somewhat comforting in the quiet, still space. Adds a life to the room that wasn't normally there before.
I'm gonna come into the room. I thought I smelled tea.
It's not bad actually.
May I?
Sure.
I pour myself a cup.
I want to go talk to Mom.
Mom's busying about. You see Nyx and Mandrake who are just sitting in chairs, and sipping tea. And Nyx is shocking to you because he never sort of spends time in any sort of common room. You see there. Dee, what are you doing all this time too? Are you
Yeah,
just
feeling kind of awkward about the dressing down of the children by the parents.
It really is weird. Like you go to your friend's house and mom and dad are yelling at their children.
Yeah, or like mom and dad are yelling at each other at the dinner table and nobody really knows how to act after that.
Yeah.
So he's probably just gonna be hanging out where there's neutral feelings going on, but really, really wanting to respect the mood of the day and the home itself. Not that day, but the day.
You go to your proper meditation place? Like maybe, would it be in the kitchen for her?
Yes, but I think their priority would be kind of finding day after a while.
Okay. After a while, you would notice that Day and Zoe are still in the room, sort of visiting and stuff like that. So let's do this conversation with Mom real quick. You see Mom sort of walking about and sort of cleaning up. And
Can I assist you?
yes, of course, dear.
That's
A
right.
little hard work never hurts anyone.
Well, is there anything I can do?
Yes, of course.
What may I do?
You can clean. You can own your space. You can spend some time doing some manual labor. You'd be surprised the thoughts that you can have when you're doing manual labor. Sometimes your truest self sort of comes out when you're just letting your mind wander and do different things.
Well, let me ask you. Did you know would you have known what happened today? Did you know what we were about to come across?
I don't know what you mean, dear.
With the Jabberwocky that wasn't a Jabberwocky, with a person that wasn't a person.
I mean that ill-tempered gnome that escaped from prison,
Possible.
yes?
Possible.
Yes, I don't know what happened, dear. I just know that ill-tempered gnome escaped from prison, and regardless of the situation, you all learned some very valuable lessons today, didn't you?
Well, the illusion started talking to me about Pack.
Hmm?
But it had no idea what I was talking
Oh,
about.
did you find your pet, dear?
My pet.
Your father went to go put the pet away when we went to take everyone else's toys away, but your pet wasn't there. Did you find him?
No. Did I?
You have to take better care of your pets. The pet that you had living with you.
In me? Or here in the house?
Is there a difference?
Well, I suppose not.
I believe he left last night. That's when we felt it. In that very foggy room. You really shouldn't. You should tell your brother not to cast fog cloud in the house too. That's really an outside spell.
You're using.
Is there anything else? Dear?
How can an illusion change his eyes like mine if he is not anything like me? How is it that this gnome knew so much about me?
I don't know, dear. Do you know of someone in your life that would have told them information about you? Have you made anyone angry in the past few days?
I've always made people angry in one way or another.
Have you made anyone particularly close to you angry in the past couple of days?
Yes.
Who?
Day.
No, Day was here the whole time. Anyone that may have left the house? You don't think your pet got out, did you?
Maybe.
You must take better care of your things, dear. Now, let's go do some manual labor, shall we?
Yeah.
And she will take you outside and bring you to a large pile of wood and have you go about chopping some firewood.
This seems like a pretty remedial task for me, wouldn't you agree? Chopping wood?
Yes, absolutely, I would.
You said manual labor. This is child's play.
I think you could use a little more child's play.
Then how much of it must I chop?
You tell me. And she'll head back into the house.
So pick a piece and just
Yep.
start it.
I assume we've sat in silence for a while, and I'll finish my cup of tea and say, "You have to tell them you know that."
How do you tell someone that? It's not really something that comes up in conversation.
I don't recommend a fog cloud in the house.
It's an outside spell, dear.
Yeah, I know. It's... I don't know. It's not what I want them to think of me as. Just... It's been a tough few years. And I don't like bringing that back in when I don't really have a handle on it.
They know who you are.
Yeah.
They just need to know who you were.
Let's cut to Day in her room, and Chloe still being there, and then a soft knock at the door.
Entree.
You will slowly turn a knob and kind of like peek in.
You see Chloe and her sitting on her bed, sort of rocking.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're not interrupting, dear.
And you will walk in and gesture towards something to sit on and ask, may I?
Not that one, that's Mimi. Sit over there.
Mimi?
Oh, sorry.
The fireworks. Poor dear.
At night, she turns into a miniature version of this bed, so that's always weird, but yes.
He's gonna take a step back, probably sit on the floor at this point, up against a wall.
There's an empty spot on the bed.
Sure, happily. And Dee will politely look to Thoe, but is going to focus on Day for the majority of the conversation, or at least the beginning of it. I wanted to tell you the other part of that game.
The caterpillar toss.
Yes,
The teacups.
the teacups.
Got it.
So, when the and he's gonna look down at their hands, and something's wrong, something's amiss, and actually just swap back to normal shitty Jon Snow.
Shitty Jon Snow. Got it.
And I don't know if Day's never seen that before, I don't think, but is going to then look to Day and say, and you knew me despite my changing my face earlier. You spoke to me and you said it's safe, and you told me that. So I really wanted to tell you more about why it was my favorite game, because we got interrupted. And so if you play the different version and you launch many of them, what it will do is you'll definitely always get something in, regardless. So you pay a gold and you get 100 and you throw them all. And it's that type of large odds. And as they make it into the teacups, they'll then just flit out little butterflies, the littlest ones, and they'll, instead of the fireworks, and they'll look to Bandy and kind of grimace at the pain of the fireworks. Go,
Oh, it's Mimi.
at Mimi, yeah. Or sorry, not
Too many
yeah. Mimi.
We have a lot of pets.
Yeah, so many pets.
Bandy's not a pet.
No.
Right? Bandy's not a pet? Really? Okay, just checking.
And kind of did grimace at the pain of what had to have been pretty painful. And the effect is explosive, but it's much more beautiful, and it takes that kind of big jump in how you're throwing them and how many, and how you don't even really have to do a whole lot of aiming at that point. And it's just the large effort behind it that gives you the beauty instead of the fireworks. And that's what I wanted to show you because of how beautiful it was. And I thought you might like it.
Thank you.
That's all.
My door.
Nope.
My door?
No.
My brain?
No.
I don't know what's happening.
Do we hear a knock in the room that we're in?
Everybody in the house hears
Okay.
this knocking.
Front door.
I'm not in the house.
Nope.
No.
Sweet, not crazy.
Magic
Hello?
door.
Magic door in the basement.
Okay,
Oh no.
Right.
let's go
Who's
check.
closest to the basement?
You two in the living room, but I think everybody's
I run
supposed to be-
downstairs.
Yeah, let's go
Downstairs.
investigate
Okay,
it.
downstairs, yeah.
Do I come with you?
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. They grab you by the hand and they sort of
Oh,
race with you
okay.
downstairs and stuff like that. And as you go past, the Little Mermaid is like, "Can somebody please answer the door, please?" Like they've been knocking for an hour. And sure enough, there's this like sort of frantic knocking at this door.
Oh yeah.
I open the door.
As you do, a large white mouse humanoid sort of walks into the space and says, "Oh my God, thank you. Is this one of mine? This is like an original, right? Like, look, you can even see the little prints in here. This is great. Look at the craftsmanship. This is like one of the original ones that I made way back in the day. And if you'll notice, this is oak, but it's inlaid with like a silver that I put in like the frame all the way around the
Are
entire.
you a dormouse?
No. I'm not a dormouse. I'm not a dormouse. I
Are
am
you
the
the
capital
dor-
THE dormouse. Okay, and I need your help because I've got a friend that's wandering about. God, hang on, and he sort of like pulls out the pieces of paper from his pocket. And he keeps looking at them and throwing. As the papers go up and flitter about, they disappear in a puff of like smoke and magic. And he's checking all of the pockets and like no, God, oh. Jeez, and he like reaches behind his ear, and as he reaches behind his ear, he pulls out a little piece of paper, and on the piece of paper he's like, "Oh, that's what it is. I need your guys' help. I need you to go find somebody for me. Would that be okay?"
Who?
It's a good friend of mine. You can't miss her. And he hands you a slip of paper with this word on it. Who takes the paper? Who just pulls it out?
Okay.
Hurry up, please. She's a little confused, and she's gonna need a bunch of help.
Who is it?
You-
Who is it?
Dole?
Joel?
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode, folks. Thank you so much as the Dormouse hands this piece of paper off. We were running way late tonight. We didn't get as much time as I wanted to have conversations and fun stuff with people. So next week, we have our very first, what I think is going to be a heist.
Sweet.
Oh God.
You guys are going to be breaking into a bank.
I love breaking into banks!
It's going to be a heist. I want to thank all of our players, and I want to thank our special guest star tonight. She changed her class completely, and she handled it in such stride. It was great. Because Warlock, she was just not, it was too dark. We had to move away from demonic sort of pack. So instead, we have a divine sorcerer now who is channeling her magic that way. There are lots of fun and exciting things happening here on the Indigo. Thank you all for making this birthday an amazing birthday. Here, I couldn't think of a better way than to hang out with friends and drink and roll dice and get D22s and cool dice boxes with dragons on them and drink wonderful lemonade. The Drink Me lemonade tonight. All of our food, we'll be posting some of these pictures on our Instagram and on the Discord. We had a catered meal tonight that was made for us. That was all Wonder themed.
By one of our amazing players that played in one of our D&D one-shots. So she played her first game of D&D ever in her whole life with us.
Next week, I think we're going to have to go back. So stay tuned. We're going to do another D&D 101 next week. And we're going to go back to the realm of Fairly, where we tell fairy tales that are a little off because the kingdom of Fairly is fairly close to Wonder and Eberron and Faerun and all those other places.
Nice.
So on behalf of everybody here on Indigo, thank you so much. Don't forget to Indigo connect with people out and about that share your nerdy passions. But the question I have for you before we leave, dear followers and listeners and subscribers, is: do you wonder?